Hello everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to the Monday Today's show. So welcome to the Monday Today's. It's Abby and Fairs. Again, I'm sure you're surprised seeing me here instead of Abby. So we'll catch up with us shortly. How has your day been? Mine was fine and good. Nice weather. A lot of people know I'm a winter person. I like the cold weather. I don't like it when the sun, anything else makes me sweat. I'm uncomfortable. I need to get myself prepared for the cold winter weather. Also, I got to do a lot of things. I got to run a lot of errands today. Did some work. Also, it wasn't really bad. Yes. What else happened today? What else happened today? Let me see. Mhm. Nothing much. It's just there. It's fine. Today's topic is love language. I'm trying to pull up Abby's entry notes, and it says everyone has a love language by which they can be pleased by. They have been broken into 5 major sections tonight. We will be discussing the love languages of the partners. Okay, and see if any secondary language can be developed or need to be. We hope that you can join us to discuss your own love language and hopefully or this discourse, we learn more about each other. Join us tonight. So yeah, that was the introduction line. For those of you who received the links I sent out. So the question is, what is your love language? Um, no, I always come from a married person's perspective. Mine has always been, I'm sure I'm not the only one. Mine has always been respect and peace of mind. That's always been my love language. I'm not too difficult to please. Right? For a guy, I'm not high maintenance. I'm not too difficult to please. You don't have to do too much to please. All I just need is peace of mind and respect. I think I'm fine. I know a lot of people have different things they do to me. I'm easy. Just easy. Low maintenance. Oh, Cheryl, how you doing? You want to come on? Or are you at work? I see Cheryl is there. I'll bring her up shortly. I'll see it. So, yes, some people laugh over these issues, and some people are very dismissive of it. But this love languages could make or mar marriages because some people take it more seriously than the others. So, imagine when you have people whose love languages are usually touch, public display of affection, gifts, gifts, money, some sex, some just checking up on them, that kind of care where you're always sending text messages or free text messages with those who are always sending love notes to their spouses. So, and we've had situation where partners dismiss, I wouldn't say look down, but they don't take this thing seriously. And it has caused some relationships, very good, some relationships that could have been really nice. Again, when I'm always discussing these issues, I tend to always say, whatever you end up with, choose that. That's why I'm very, very, very particular about how we choose spouses, how we choose people in courts, how you choose even after courtship, how you choose people you marry. Again, I'm not saying if courtship goes smoothly, if marriage goes smoothly, no, far from it. People also change, but we're trying to mitigate the change to the point whereby we know what we're dealing with. It's better you have somebody who pretends to a certain level before you get into marriage, or maybe you had a prior agreement and the person is not holding on to his or her own end. It's easier to remind the person of what commitments they signed up for. And then somebody you didn't even ask anything, just, she's beautiful, she's sexy, she's intelligent, they're just going to me at all. They saw that handsome and rich, get married. 5 years down the line, either the man or the woman becomes abusive, either physically or verbally, or there's a form of serious disconnect. Then you have to come together and sit down and address the issue. So I'm always particular about getting it right the first time. So getting it right before marriage is usually the filter. You filter out what you don't want. And not just filtering out, you have to be intentional. If you see it's not responding to the kind of things you want. Now, I'm speaking for ladies. You're intending to marry somebody and you're a gift person, you're a touchy person, you want to be touched, huddled or hugged, whatever it is that tickles your fancy, your love language, like we're discussing today. Look out for it. And if you know you can't exist without these things, or you can't function properly in a relationship without these things, I don't see the wisdom in proceeding with the marriage. Yes, I know there are pressures, family pressures stating that, oh, once you get married at a certain, but remember, oh, okay, I get your message, Cheryl. But remember, Cheryl, you can use the YouTube link so you don't plug up the stream here. So just remember that you really can't change human beings. Human beings, most of the time, or lack of a better way to put it, their characters are set in stone. Most of the time. I'm not saying all the time because we are dynamic as human beings. Sometimes we change for the better, we improve. Sometimes things and events can happen that will cause someone to spiral down spiral down and go off the radar. So if you are very particular about the love language, I think when 40 and 80, and again, I'm speaking for those who intend to get married, just like this week. Not everybody wishes to get married, whatever that means, but there are people like that. Even if you want to have a life partner, always look out for those love languages you want. Some of us get carried away from the women. They say, oh, it's all dark and rich and I'm marrying him. But you don't look out for the love language. It's okay.
Hey,
It's can you hear your gun salute?
I can hear my gun salutes. Now we are talking.
See, so we got the 24 gun salutes now. I hope you're happy.
In fact, I'm ecstatic. I beg, no vex. So my carer was here,
Oh, no
and
problem. I've explained to everyone already. Okay.
yeah, so because I've been in some pain for some time, I'm
Oh,
just
sorry to hear.
trying to deal with. It's all my reading classes are here.
Sorry about
So, because I've been struggling to, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I've been struggling to have a shower for a while, for some days. And every
it.
time the camera came, there was so many other things to do that they'll just help me have a
Okay.
wash.
Okay. Okay. This is international team.
Because I'm telling them about fibromyalgia now, what fibromyalgia does to a person. So somewhere else in the world will be wondering why, if their family is listening and why can't ordinary shower, you can't get up to shower. So they will understand that fibromyalgia affects your skin, affects the surface of your skin, it affects it. So being and then you're tired, and then the surface of your skin is like if you've got pins and needles. So they've been helping me have a wash instead of a proper shower. But today the carer that came, she's someone I really trust, so she helped me and everything. And unfortunately it makes me quite tired, so as I'm sure you see from my eyes that I am tired. But of course the show must go on. Yeah, papa. So anyone suffering from fibromyalgia, you're not alone. I applaud you because it affects everybody the same and yet differently. So I applaud you wherever you are in the world dealing with multiple conditions, because unfortunately fibromyalgia is that condition that brings other things along with it. You will have one thing, then it'll be two, then it'll be three, then it'll be four, like that. So whatever you are dealing with, I applaud you and I wish light and love to you, honestly. And I know some people might not believe in God, but me, I pray that God will just have mercy on all of us.
Hallelujah.
Amen. Oh. So, brother mine, where have you talked your talk to?
No, I was speaking about the love languages and the categories sometimes we find ourselves. Some people like touch, some people like gifts, some people like sex, some people like money, some people is remembering to
Acts of
uh,
service.
acts of service and constant communication. So, and I
Yeah.
was also pointing out that before you go into that relationship, either it's marriage or life partnership, always look out for these things. If you know you are really, really into these things, look out for it first. Don't get carried away by, oh, he's too handsome, he's that, he's
Eh,
tall, he's taking,
that's the
no,
thing,
no,
oh. You go and
no.
do is handsome. And meanwhile, he's handsome and you like someone who likes to cook for you. And meanwhile, cannot enter kitchen. He doesn't even know how to boil water. Hey, hey, you will just chop that handsome.
In fact,
you
you
will
just chop the answer.
you will chop that handsome, man. That handsome go belle for you. Wella. Or you're someone who likes to cuddle, and then you go and be with someone who cannot stand people touching them because oh he's rich and he buys me nice gifts. Starvation go kill, because this is the thing that I've come to realize with love languages. You don't understand the impact of what they do to you until you are denied.
Not even, we're not even going to the downside. I'm even saying, if you're already, like some daddy's girls, because their dad is always carrying them and
Like me.
holding them. Yeah, they expect that their spouse should be doing the same thing to them. If you know that's what you want, don't settle for less. Don't say
Exactly.
you have money and then later he will start talking. He's not going to, people don't change like that.
You
So
you know you know this thing you
it's,
talk, bruh. Sorry, oh, you know this thing where you talk. When people call me and say things like Abby, marry now, they don't understand. And to some extent, Mrs. Sido always will shout at my father that, hey, you will be the reason why this girl will never marry. I said she saw the future. She always used to say to my dad, you will be the reason why this girl will not marry, because the way he treated me was out of the world. Maybe he wasn't a cuddler, but because of me, I was like a cat. Anywhere I feel sit down on top of my papa head, I go sit down. you know, he will cook for me. Like all every part of the love language, the one that was my own and the one that was not my own, he fulfilled it. He will buy me gifts. He would take me out. Like all my favorite things he tried to do, because he wasn't around a lot. So when he was around, he always tried to like fulfill. So I can't spoil. Me if I know say I spoil. So now meeting a guy who is meeting just one or two, I'll be like, hey, like I'm telling you, when I was young, if me and my dad go out, my dad will open the door for me to get into the car. And when we get to where we are going, I know well enough not to open the door and get out. I'll sit down, my dad will come and open the door for me. How many men they do that one? I remember the day where I follow one guy go out, I sit there Saboto. When I tire and I mean open the door, come up for my the guy was looking at me like, I was want to open the door. I was like, oh, you're waiting for me to open the door. Okay, I'm coming. When I sat there 10 minutes, he had got it. I vexed open the door myself, come out. So you
Abby, sorry,
hmm?
continue talking. Let me go off because I've not set the this one on YouTube. Just keep talking. I'll be doing it in the
Okay,
back.
no problem. Yes, go on, go on. Yeah, so like now when I meet someone who doesn't even meet half, and the problem is, I'm not going to lie, there's only one man that I've met who met half, and it was like the best thing since like because I was like, but since that person, honestly, and I'm being honest here because I told you on this show we would tell the truth, and I can see people putting questions. I'm going to come to questions. And I'm going to tell you the truth. There are days where I sit down in my house and I just cry. And why am I crying? I've cooked though. I've cooked for myself. But because I'm the one that cooked it and not somebody else cooked it for me, I just feel sad and I start to cry. Or I haven't seen anybody I said, COVID. I cried because touch is my thing. I love cuddles and things like that. And my illness has also made me cry because I can't really be cuddled much because of the pain in my body. So my friends, those who are very, very close to me, know not to hug me. They just put out their arms and they let me hug them because they know that if they hug me, especially the way you hug somebody, the pain is too much. But you see, during that COVID time, Che, I cried. I cried drum. In fact, the tears that I cried, that's 1.5 years. It was enough to at least salt half of China, I'm sure. Because just sitting down in the house, not seeing a single soul and not being touched, nothing, I would cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. The day someone called me after and it was my best friend, I just I just started crying. She was busy, so she hadn't called me for a couple of days, and nobody else had called me. And she picked up the phone and called me, and I started to cry. And I'm sure you'll be like, if you miss people calling you, why don't you call them? I get it, but there's something about knowing that you're in people's minds. That this person thought of me. That's why they picked up the phone. There's something about it. Anyways, so let me look at the questions. Do people's love languages change over time? Yes. People say, oh, it doesn't, but I can assure you that it does. Your core love languages will not change because they're your core love languages. But there's some other things that because of age, inexperience, and all of that, you would consider high, but later on, they would change. Like for some people, receiving gifts. If this boy, when they're in their 20s, that guy doesn't buy me gift, I beg, I beg, I beg, I beg. But when they grow older, they're married, other things are coming in, then they won't put so much focus on the gifts. Like, it must bring me a gift every day. But when they get that one gift, maybe once in a month, they love it because they know it comes with meaning. Unlike when they were in their 20s and the boyfriend would just be like, okay, that's your problem, I'll throw money at it. Every week I'll get one boy from my office to be bringing you gifts. That's what you want. Okay, I know what I want from you, so I'll be giving you what you want. You understand what I'm saying? So gifts, love languages do change after a while because of age and experience, depending on what is your extra love language on the outside. Then Cheryl Torres said, yes, I believe our love language change over time. Agontene also, hey, I got tea, baby. Happy birthday again. I think it does. Yes, it's like wondering why and how someone is so much in love with his or her partner, and after a while, you can't see eye to eye. Oh, that's even a bit different. You see that whole, because most of the thing, and I think, who was it that was saying? Was it Dr. Colin that was saying that the very thing that you love somebody for is the very thing that will cause you to fight eventually. Now, have I ever gotten to that point? I don't think so. I'm trying to think. Because like one of the reasons why I loved someone was because of his love of music. I mean, I love music, that can never change. I won't fight the person for that. I don't see me fighting somebody because they love music. Because myself is a problem, But yes, I do agree with what Agontene said, So yeah. So I was thinking of a different topic, but I think Reverend Ron was like, nope, we are not letting this travesty happen on this show. So he went because we had said last week that we were thinking maybe we would do love languages this week or we would do it next week. So first of all, thank you guys for holding out. Hey, it's not easy, but you know what? You guys make it so much fun. It's not easy doing this because it's a lot of pain. But you guys make it so much fun that I forget about the pain sometimes, So thank you for that. So thank you for waiting. Thank you for coming to watch. Thank you for being here. I really, really appreciate you guys. So what's been happening in the week? Nothing, because I've been at home trying not to feel too sorry for myself. But it's been good. It's been good. It's been okay. Oh my God. Acting school is great. I can't wait. Oh God, I can't wait to show you guys. It's amazing. It's amazing. So yeah, then what has happened in the week in the world? The normal whatever that happens in the week. So, anyways, we're talking about love languages, and I went to because I actually have the book. If I show you my library, you will scream because I read a lot. I actually have the book, but I don't know where in the library it is, so I couldn't be bothered. So there actually was initially 5 love languages, but then they increased to 7. So I will give you the initial 5, and then we will go to hey Kayode, come and hey Judas the carrots, come and come and join the panel. Don't have to be begging you every week. What's your problem? Imagine one of our core panel members and he has simply refused to come to the panel anymore. I don't know who chased him. I didn't chase you, Shao. You know I love you. Okay, so Gary Chapman was the one who started in 1995 writing about the 5 love languages, right? So the 5 love languages are physical touch. Now, that is something that most of us love because from when we are babies, we love to be touched by people. We love our mummies to touch us. We always want to cuddle, want to kiss, that kind of thing. Some people outgrow that and they no longer are dependent on it. They'll still like the occasional hug, while some people, because of maybe they're autistic or whatever, they can't stand being touched. When they're carried as babies, they cry and cry and cry. It's because the senses are too much. Too much is coming into their world at the same time. So it's too much for them. But when things get controlled, they can actually tolerate touch. So, and there are lots of physical and mental benefits. In fact, there is a study. Yes, as I said before, I read a lot. There is a study that if a person goes a year without being touched, they will actually have a mental breakdown. I don't even think it needs to be a year. I think 3 months is enough to make anybody go mental. But like they will have a total and complete mental breakdown where they'll need to be sectioned. So there's that study. So and physical touch doesn't necessarily mean outside, let everybody see me and you are kissing. Oh, darling, darling, bosom. No, no, no. It's just in the soft things, in the holding of hands, in the occasional, kissing on the forehead. That one, Yoruba demons. They have used that one to devastate many, many girls because they know that's when they just place that kiss on your forehead like this is as if they've stamped you. You just like, meanwhile, it's not only you that are kissing on the forehead, you are plenty. So yeah, holding hands, kissing, hugging, that holding of the hand and just kissing the back of the hand, or just like rubbing your cheek with someone's hand. Oh my god, is beautiful. Then the second one is receiving gifts. Now, something just went. Wait a minute. Where's the music coming from? I think it's Ron. Oh. Is it Ron? Can you hear me?
Yeah, very well.
I was wondering. Yeah. I was like, what is going on? I was hearing music. I'm a bushwoman, leave me alone. So receiving of gifts. Okay. Huh?
Still added a background sound feature.
Okay, I was just like, I was even looking under the table to see. You said music is in my head. Okay, so love languages, that doesn't just mean receiving gifts, and it doesn't mean that whoever person's love language is receiving gifts is a gold digger. It just means that that's their language. That's what appeals to them. That's what. And what do we even mean by love languages? Love languages are the things that make us tick, that other people do to us, that make us tick, that make us, give us that sense of fulfillment. So again, two different people will have two different love languages. Um, Receiving gifts also means receiving something thoughtful and meaningful. So it's not just throwing any meaningless stuff. You see some people, they're just gonna shatter like 12 brands of the same 12 kinds of the same perfume brand, and every week they'll be giving the girl one. After a while, she will know that there's no thought to it. You just gathered it, that kind of thing. So it has to be thoughtful, it has to be meaningful, it has to be something that it doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be the very smallest thing, like, oh, your partner is coming back from work very late, and their favorite thing is king prawn fried rice, which is my favorite thing. I put it out there, king prawn fried rice, extra chili, little salt. Yes. So come back from work and she's already thinking, oh, what am I going to make? And you just go, babes, go into the microwave. And she opens it and king prawn. She can even cry, because for her, that's just, the best thing. So it doesn't mean something big, right? There's the third one is acts of service. Now, it's different from receiving gifts, because acts of service is you doing something for someone, while gifts is giving something to someone. So acts of service is like, your partner doesn't like to iron. Like the guy I told you that was like half of what my dad was. He knew ironing was not my thing. So every Saturday he would come to my house, carry all my clothes, I iron everything. And it was the best thing. I was like, this guy, no. Because again, he knew that it was something I didn't like to do, but it was an act of service. He didn't have to do it. Yeah, he didn't get anything, and I promise you, he did not get anything for doing it, but he did it, So acts of service is doing something for someone, something that that when you do it, and again, it doesn't have to be something huge. Like I said, ironing, and I was totally in love. It doesn't have to be something big. It's just doing something that that this person has not been able to get to, or something, something like cooking for your spouse, unloading the dishwasher, picking up their dry cleaning, whatever. Those are acts of service. Then quality time. That's another one that a lot of people struggle with, because it means giving someone your undivided attention. Some people think being in the same room with a spouse is quality time. No, that is not quality time. That's just you being in the room. If you're in the room and you're on the phone, and then like me, when I'm talking to someone, if every time I have a meeting with someone, when I'm meeting a friend for a meal or something, my phone is never on the table. It's always in my bag, because I'm giving you my total undivided attention. And if the person I'm talking to is on their phone, I'm picking up and taking pictures. I won't say anything, but the possibility of me meeting you up for lunch again, remote, because to me, you don't think I'm worth your time. So that's why you have just decided that you'll be doing something else while I'm sitting there waiting for you, and sitting there and, honoring the fact that we are sitting together. So, quality time is just giving that undivided attention. So you can say, oh, we're on a date, or we just want to talk about something. That's not the time to be getting distracted. That's not the time to be, and you might say, hey, if people have children, are they going to do on a quality time? Can you wait till when they are asleep? No how they will sleep. Or you get a babysitter to keep them, so that you can talk. If it's something that is really urgent, grandparents, there are ways around these things. There are ways around them. So, and then again, quality time doesn't always mean that you want to have a conversation. Sometimes it's doing things together, but that's still quality time. So maybe playing board games together. Like, in fact, if someone wants to make me happy, just play Monopoly or Scrabble or something like that. I'll be so happy, because that is undivided attention. Or watching a favorite program together, just doing something you and that person. Then words of affirmation. I think this one is for everybody. Being told lovely things, someone not using words to cut you down, talk to you anyhow. You try and say something to them and they just turn it around and just gaslight you, and you're like, what did you throw? What did you carry? That kind of thing. So, saying to just waking up, even when the person is in their worst mood. Do you know what it means that for a woman to be feeling fat and everything, you just look at her and just say, babes, Chai, they bust my brain. Like she'll be smiling through the entire day. Like she'll be feeling like, yes, so hey, someone who was feeling ugly should suddenly start feeling amazing. Like when someone, even if the person doesn't look that great, there's a way you can say that it's not going to break their heart, that kind of thing. So that's words of affirmation, saying you're beautiful. This looks incredible on you. Oh my God, I love how good you are with the kids. I love how good you are with fixing things. My husband, I knew that when you were coming there, I didn't have to fear, because this thing that's been giving me trouble, I knew you were going to sort it out. So it's not always about appearance or everything. It's about what people do. It's about how, so like you can even be in the car and you just turn to your boyfriend and be like, dude, the way you are driving this car is there, you are the best driver. Just something just makes someone feel good about themselves. Little compliments. They don't have to be big things. They don't have to be big gestures and all that. So then the love languages increased up to 7, and I'm trying to find the remaining. Is Yoku.
As soon as you're
You
done with
too.
the list, as
Okay,
soon as you're done,
continue with
put the
the
comment
continue. Oh yeah,
section.
you take over from where I said the 5, and
No,
I'll look for the remaining 2.
my internet is breaking. I need you to read the comments. It's for this is sex. Today's one
Okay,
is
okay. Let me go into
okay.
the comments. Let me leave the remaining 2. I'll find them later. So, um,
Okay, we'll see this one.
It's like wondering how. Okay, okay. No, I've said that. It's like wondering how and why someone is so much in love with his or her partner, and after a while you can't see eye to eye. Then John Verissimo said, "Can people fall out of love? They just drift apart over time. How can it be reduced? Drifting." So we'll talk about that. Then Judas the carrot. He said, "My favorite topic." And he said, "Who added 2?" He said, "It's you that chased with me." Fear God though, fear God. Then Cheryl Torres said, Agontena, it could be that one partner continues to grow while the other stays content with where they are in life, which is another thing about communication. Then they said, like Chase Bank. I don't know where Chase Bank is. Then Agontene said, things fade, even clothes, and you trash or add some color to fix it. Love can fade if you don't nurture it. Then Kayode said, where is that study? I beg, just check the internet, is there. He said, make I present them on dates. Okay. Said, where's the study? I beg, so I can present them on dates. Then when I was looking for the music, he said, music is in your head, Abby. Then Agontene said, you must deliberately care about and nurture love. That's our background interlude from. Okay, so she was telling me, yes, it is true. You can't say, oh, we have love, and then just be walking around and doing whatever. It's like any other thing. It's like a plant. If you don't water it, you don't take care of it, you don't prune it, you don't do it, you just leave it to grow, it's going to eventually die. Then Kayode said, Yoruba called that Ashedan.
Okay.
What study is that? So she was talking about the study that was saying. Then Kayode said, Yoruba people call that Ashedan. I'm trying to figure out what he meant with that one. If you can just remind me, Abby. No, I don't. Yes, taking pictures of maybe the food or something. But when I'm sitting down with you and we are on a date, I'm expecting you to concentrate on me. It's the same thing with when I go to concerts. I will take a couple of videos and pictures, but then I put the phone away because I want to enjoy the music. Most people don't even know what the concert is like because they were behind their phone throughout. So they can't tell you when anything happened because they're looking here, something happened over there. I don't believe that that's any way of enjoying anything. So I would take a couple of pictures, take a couple of videos, and put my phone away and enjoy the concert. It's the same thing. If I'm with you and we're having a meal, let's take a couple of pictures, take pictures of the food and everything. Then we put them away. They don't have to sit down there. So needed attention, and I think people struggle with that. A lot of people that attention span is so bad that they struggle with undivided attention. They can't focus on one thing for a long time. It just drives their heads nuts, So then Felix Peter says, evening, Uncle Ron. And Agontene says you can take pictures briefly and toss your phone into your purse. You see, you're saying exactly the same. Say, oh, of not the food of both of you. Of course, it's nice to get those pouty pictures and all that. So, yeah, so you're right, Agontene. Very, very right. So we are waiting for the rest of our panel. But Ron, huh? Ron, while we are waiting for the rest of our panel, I think I've said what my love languages are. And in case you didn't hear, my love language. Okay, what do you think my love languages are? You're my father, so you should know.
Acts of service, cuddling, and listening to you. You know where you want to listen to you.
Acts of service.
Cuddling. That's touch, cuddling.
Oh, touch. Okay, head touch.
Cuddling and somebody listening to you, even if the person doesn't want to listen to you.
Yeah, even if the person doesn't want to listen to me, listen to me. Okay, so Kayode said, oh, Ashe Danu, the guy ironing your clothes are not getting nothing in return. How are you like this? And I can say, I meant pictures of you at the event. As I said briefly, yes, you're right, very right, Agondene. So, Ron, what are your love languages?
Oh, I said it at the beginning of the show. Respect and
I wasn't
peace.
here.
I'm very low maintenance. All I want is respect and peace. Full stop. Nothing else.
They are not.
Sorry, please repeat that again.
So, what are your love languages? The general thing most African men will kill. Language. Hello, Ron. Hey.
Sorry, can you
love
sorry.
language and
you were saying something. Sorry, you were saying something.
I said respect and peace are the average things that the average African man is ready to kill people over. That is not love language. So what is your love language?
I'm more of the giver. Like, I'm low maintenance. I really don't have. If you ask my wife, she won't tell you that.
No, there must be something that when it's done, even though you are low maintenance, there's something that when it is done. So, like, if someone just automatically.
This is seven again. Let me see if I can take it.
Okay, well, I only have the 5. I couldn't get the. God.
Okay, this is the 5.
Let me know. I was busy talking to you, so I couldn't look at the ahead. So the 5 are the 5 that I found so far: physical touch, receiving gifts, acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation.
Are you there? Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Hamza. It's happy I can hear.
Okay, all right.
Internet is rolling.
Yeah, can you hear me?
We can hear you now. We weren't hearing you before.
The internet is so bad.
Even from my own end.
Okay, so I said the love language. Okay, physical touch.
Okay.
Receiving gifts, acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation.
What's the extra 2?
Hello?
What's the extra?
Yeah, what did you say yours? From the I'm going to go and look for them, but from the 5 that I've called out: physical touch, receiving gifts. You can't find any from the 5.
Am I
okay, hold on. Let me go and find the other 2. Hey God, oh.
Sharon is making me laugh.
See wahala. Oh yeah, while we are talking, Mr. H, what are your love languages? Voila,
Sharon is
don't
making me
enter
laugh.
down.
Should I
You don't know
put
the
a,
problem.
yeah, should
Okay,
I
yeah.
can you hear me?
I should have, but I was not well, so just forgive me.
You are forgiving, my
Okay,
dear.
okay, Hamza, tell us what are your love languages.
Let me just break it down. Good day, everybody.
You want to
Where you're
become DJ Wiki Wiki too?
No, let me just break it down. A lot of people have different kind of love languages, and a lot of people, feel love when they are shown this kind of languages, and I hear that it's 5 of them. But sometimes we do not. Can you
Mr.
hear me
H,
now?
hear you. Mr. H, we didn't hear
Yeah,
you.
can you
You
hear me
went
now?
off. Yes, can hear you. So yes, we can hear
Okay,
you.
so what I'm saying is that everybody have their own type of love languages, and if you're with your partner, you need to make sure or find the love language of your partner. And I heard it's 5 love signs, and people like to receive gifts, and I would say if you are somebody that is observant, you should be able to identify the love language of your or your partner. And sometimes it could include gifts. Sometimes it could be compliment. Sometimes it's the other way around. So, but for me, my love language is what would I even say now? If somebody that cares, and for me to be satisfied, it's very little. To me, to be satisfied with somebody is very, very little. I don't ask for much things. It's my own is just small thing to care. Even sometimes good morning, just to care, to check on the person, to check on me. How are you doing? What are you
Okay,
passing
so
through?
words of affirmation.
Yes, to say, okay, how you doing? It's not really about going out eating or whatever. It's just show that you care. How are you doing? What's going on? And it's enough for me. It's enough for me. It's not.
Can I
So
read out the 5? Can I read out the
okay,
5? Then you so there's
yeah,
words of affirmation,
yeah,
there's physical touch,
yeah,
there's receiving gifts,
yeah,
there's quality time,
yeah,
and acts of service.
yeah. Yeah, for me,
So
it's affirmation, and it's not really about the gift. But I try to study. You need to study your partner's love languages. It's probably sometimes by doing little things for your partner that the person will just out of the blues. Like we were discussing last week, that I said, that I was asking the ladies, if you want your partner to do something for you, would you ask, or you just let them do it impulsively? And I think Candy was saying, sometimes you will ask. Then Abby is saying sometimes, yeah, you should use your brain and do something like that. Sometimes that could be the love language of some people, and some people they say it's gifts. Some people maybe chocolate, some people it's card, maybe some people it's flower, maybe some people it's perfume. People like to. Some ladies like to smell very, very nice, and so you probably, as a man, you probably go to any of these shops and get. It might not be expensive. You can, and sometimes what you try to do as a partner, you probably just ask a how will I call it, an expo question, like what would you like, what kind of taste, what kind of smell do you like? Then you use that as your basics when you are going to buy something for your partner. Or act of service, when you go to your partner's place, and you would know if maybe you can help her wash the dishes without asking, or maybe help her with her clothes, or maybe help her change the batteries on the whatever, on the wall clock, or maybe her watch is down, it's not working. You take it to the watch repairer and put a new battery in. All those things, or maybe help her check her tires for her car, or maybe pour some petrol in there, or go wash the car for her. These are love signs. This guy is, sometimes it should not be. Sometimes it's quality time. Maybe on weekend, maybe Saturday or Sunday, choose an evening to always watch a movie. Not going out, maybe in the room, in the house, maybe on Netflix. You guys choose one movie a weekend. We're going to watch this on Netflix. Sit down, just buy maybe a wine or something. Just make it cozy. Some people like that, and some people want another language is touching. And you probably go walk in the mall and you hold each other's hand, and so some partner wants people to see that, oh, I am with this person, just like, I don't know how to explain it, but women know what I'm talking about in the public.
Yeah.
Oh, I am taking something like that, not really saying it loud, but
this is my property.
Yes, or maybe sometimes just take a long walk.
And deliver.
Yeah, or sometimes take a long walk, things like that, or or do things together. Go to the the last time I saw Mr. Ron at the Grand West doing this skating. You can do with your partner, go skating, something like that on a weekend. It will mean a lot. And sometimes it could be waking up in the morning and sending your partner a good morning message, a very, very good morning message. And it's not, you don't need to buy it. You can go online, set a good morning message with flowers and everything and send it every morning. Those people, some women really appreciate that. And at night you send it.
Mr. H, it's not like waking up at 8 o'clock and already sending a text saying, how was your day?
No,
8 o'clock
that's
in the
what I
morning.
mean. That's what I mean. There are texts that you can send in the morning. Sometimes is it like I said, is the thoughts that really matters. You copy it and you paste and say, so the person, I've really had it before. I was sending this person that, and there was a time I forgot to send, and this lady said, Hamza, why didn't you send me this thing, these messages you send me in the morning? And then I knew that the person was really appreciating them, because that day I didn't send. It was like, the person know that you send me those messages in the morning. I really appreciate it, because at least and when you do things like this impulsively for people, for your partner, they feel it. Somebody actually told me once, a lady I was dating long time ago, and she said something to me that I was just even thinking about it. And she said to me, I've been dating a lot of people, but Hamza, I want to tell you, you are the first man that showed me kindness. There's difference between love, showing somebody kindness. He said,
exactly.
He said to me, Hamza, you are the first man I have kids, but you're the first man that have showed me an act of kindness. And it felt good. He said, I've been in love. People show you love, but when I mean kindness, it's kindness.
And that's the thing. People don't know that there are two separate things. That there's love, but then there's kindness.
And the first time in my life, that is when I knew the difference between love and kindness. I used to think when you show a woman love, you are actually showing kindness. But when she told me, I paused, I like, kindness, love. He said there's a difference between showing someone kindness and showing someone love.
Sorry, what's the difference? My brother, sorry.
Oh yeah, Hamza.
What's the difference
when she meant by kindness is like going out of your own way to be kind to people. It's not you can love somebody, but you might not be kind to them. Some people your partner will want to hear. Some people your partner may want to throw something to you, just like, okay, my first son or my daughter is maybe the child is not yours, but maybe coming from another relationship is this and this and this and this. And you say, okay, tomorrow morning I will go and fetch her and I'll take her somewhere and talk to the child and see what it's an act of kindness to that person. I bought this tablet for your daughter. It's an act of kindness. It's an act of kindness.
Just let Kyle. When you finish it, you can do the thing. Yeah, continue, Mr. H.
It's my own. That's my own opinion. I might be wrong, and I'm always willing to learn, because everybody has his own opinion.
You're very, very right, Mr. H. You're very, very right.
Because if you're sometimes when I used to say something as when you're in a relationship, you need to take your partner as a friend, a brother, a sister, a nephew. Because sometimes, if unless I'm dating Abby now, I should be able to sit down with Abby and talk to Abby like brother to brother. Abby, that thing you are doing, it's wrong. And you, Abby, supposed to call Hamza and say, Hamza, look, the way you spoke to that lady is not good. It's like, brotherly, what would you do? Sometimes you need to take everything away. You need to take away the gadgets.
I don't think my partner's my brother, though. Because
Yes.
things I do to my
partner. Hamza, hold on to that thought. Hold on to that thought. It's been a long time.
Judas the carrots. I'm not saluting anything. Judas the carrots.
Yeah, welcome, sir.
Abby, you have never saluted before. Look how you just.
I just saluted you now, and I saluted again.
Abby,
Proper salute, Stefo.
That salute is embarrassing to me, considering the fact that you are an ex-junior woman. Do it again. Let Ron see what you did. Ron, is that correct?
That is the correct one, oh.
Is that correct?
With the handshake himself.
Even Nigerian police will not salute like that. No, that's very.
Thunder like they strike both of you.
We'll go and unretire your drill sergeant basically and dismiss him for you saluting like that.
Why that is like this now? Shebi is like this.
You're saluting like Boy Scout.
Man, leave me. I want to say to you know what? If I'm matching, because because again, remember when we are sitting, is sit up. It's not salutes. So if I'm standing up, I can salute properly. I'm sitting down.
Alone. Your salute, your hand is showing me basically that you attended Boy Scout secondary school.
Agontene, wherever you meet this man, please kick him in the nuts for me. Kick him in the nuts.
In fact, you know what is going to happen? In the next show that I have, I'm going to ask the ex-door there to salute. I am totally.
Now leave me. Me, I already knew that. You see, inside that military school, me, I was a Girl Scout inside the military school. Don't worry.
Well, now I can believe you. From your side.
Okay, you're welcome.
You're welcome, sir.
Sorry, Mr. H. Say love language, they always fit my belly. Now I say make I leave work. I said, in fact, make my manager not call me now.
Sorry, sir, I want to correct it before. Before. Mr. H, I hear your definition.
Comments for me, please.
Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
I heard the definition, but I need to correct an impression. All those things you listed as acts of kindness is actually called love. Do you understand?
Ron, I can assure you that you can love somebody and not be totally kind. I understand what Mr. Hamza is talking about.
And not be totally
part of how can you love somebody and not be kind to the person? Part of the element of love is kindness now.
No, like as we said last week, not in love and not in love. I did last week or last 2 weeks. We've already
said it.
No, yeah, I'm saying.
It's a translation.
And Ron, to be kind to somebody is different. You can be kind to somebody that you're not in love with. You get it?
No,
but when I'm saying that somebody's telling you that you have been kind, you have been kind in some aspect. There's a way you touch somebody. You say you love somebody, but you must love the person genuinely and with everything you have. And as I'm telling you, in a relationship, you must take the person firstly as a friend, as a brother. Then it goes on and on and on and on and there. Because even if you okay, let me give you an example. You have a child, Ron, you have a child. You need to be there's a time you will have to be a father and also a brother to that child, that baby girl you have. You must be able to define the role.
Wait, so we don't drag this thing further. The elements, what you are describing is in love. That's in love. We agreed last week that it's infatuation, right?
Yeah.
It's part of I've forgotten what they call it, whatever. But when you're talking about pure love, it comes with kindness, acts of kindness. That's why they say it's love.
Okay. Let me tell you something. Ron, let me just stop you there. Let me say, you can say you can be in love with somebody, but sometimes you might not be kind with them. If they should tell you, your woman should tell you one day, say, Ron, please help me change the oil in my car.
Mm-hmm.
Change the oil in my car for me. Some men will not want to do that. Some men will tell you, why don't you take it to the mechanic or take it to the garage and let them change it for you. But some men are kind enough to stoop too low to go down and take out the oil and fit it to new one. That is act of kindness. It's not that you're not in love with the person, but you are not kind to the person.
I agree with you, but you're mixing it up. I just explained to you that act of kindness is part of love. It's not mutually exclusive.
Okay, Ron, let's hear it from Agontene, who is a woman. At least we women, we know the difference between someone loving us and someone being kind to us. And as I've said, I agree with Mr. Hamza that someone can love a woman, you can love a person, but you might not always be kind to them. And that's just the truth. And especially for people like you, Ron, who are, I'm only speaking the truth, I'm only speaking facts. Sometimes your truth and your facts can be very unkind. And you don't know that. You're just thinking, oh, I love my woman. And meanwhile, you've already put a dent somewhere that you didn't even know, because they're just like, oh, I'm just being like this. I'm only speaking the truth. And it's not like nobody wants to hear the truth or whatever, but there are ways and hows. Again, it could be, oh yes, I love my partner, and I want to give them, I want to cook something for them. But you already know that there's a certain way they like to eat things. But because, I'm tired, you should be grateful that people. And we will have those moments, and we will not be kind.
I would like to say something.
So if you can love someone but not be always hey, oh yeah, Gontene, Judas, I'm coming to you. Don't go anywhere. I'm coming to you.
I was going to say that I came before Agontene. Why is she going first?
But Mr. because she's a woman, I want her to just confirm. No, just come. No, I just want you to confirm.
Because it's you. Go first. Don't mind them, Ujari.
Agontene, oh yeah, salute. First of all, salute. Salute, Judas.
Agontene, first of all, salute. See, wait, do that again, Agontene.
So you want me to you want me to come to come? That will not be salute. You are biased.
I be doing it again. Agontene, tell her. Agontene, tell her what.
Why is it just guy salute? Are you seeing me properly?
Now girls guy salute.
Okay, enough of this salute.
We can't see you.
We will take tutorials later.
Don't say you can't see me. Don't automatically say what you can't see and say it's girls guide own.
Oh yeah, the panel, right? The qualities of love is patience, kindness. I mean, it has so many qualities. Self-control, and you can go on and on and on. That's the qualities of love. So love is supposedly to be kind, but you find that we're human beings. We know they're kind though.
At all.
They love, but we know they kind. Your manner of approach to someone is, you're in love with that person, but you talk to the person rudely or anyhow. That's not being kind. So, do you understand? So I said the manner of approach at which you do things, not just saying or acting, that separates love from kindness. But they're supposed to go hand in hand. They are the qualities of love: showing care, being kind, being nice,
being thoughtful.
Being thoughtful, and all of those are the attributes or qualities that make you think you're in love or you love this person.
Judas, don't run, no. Don't go, come back.
I'm here.
Okay.
Is breaking up.
Hey, I'm gonna don't hook. But you see what we are saying, that you can say yes. Hey, continue, my sister.
Yes, you're actually, if you're in love, you should be able to do those things. But and that's why I still said we're human beings. We separate. We all the time not do that or do those things. We're not kind always. We always fall short. Sometimes we're in love and we're kind, and some again can deliberately. You'll be shocked, and that's why I say you'll find that somebody claims to love you, and yet he's doing something. Okay, how come a man that claims to love you impregnates you, and the next thing he's telling you that you cannot keep the baby, or you cannot? And just, to me, I don't know. I don't know if you understand. I'm just thinking. I'm trying to fathom everything. So is
He
that
doesn't love
really or
you.
genuine? That's not genuine. That's what I'm saying. But if
He
you're
doesn't
thoughtful
love
and
you.
kind, he doesn't love you. Okay. But
And
how
now,
come
the
you
Doesn't
person
be
who
love
they
with
do
you.
that will not love you.
wait, fine. Do you know some husbands do that to their wives? That's why I say love fades. Love does fade. It fades. How come a man is so much in love with a woman, marries the woman, after a while he treats her like this is not the person he ever saw? So that's why I said it's not that someone is a couple, love exists. No. So some people love don't die tay. Some love no even dey there in the beginning self. They just manage,
I
patch
continue.
up.
That's why I was saying that. You see, this
Okay,
thing that they
Alex,
say. Wait now,
I'll
Shebi,
respond to
I'm
later.
this thing that they call love. I always wonder about it, and that's why it
Thank
scares
you.
me silly. You see, I'd rather a guy just says, you know what, I like you, giddy gone. But you see that love thing, it scares me. Why? Because I have seen too many times someone who is like, Abby, God, I love you so much. I
That's
can't think.
selflessness.
Hey God,
Some are
and next
selfless.
thing, the same person who is like, hey, this is next thing will be like, yes, what are you looking for? What are you doing here?
Yeah,
Why are you here?
absolutely. So
I'll be
you
like,
wonder why the
from when to
360.
when? From when to
You're wondering
and
why
the
the
thing is always
360,
like juju.
No, sincerely, these are questions we can't answer because we're human beings. Even we, sometimes, we might fall short of those, we, at the receiving end, you might want to treat. But I just feel that I think there are some questions we just cannot answer, honestly. And I believe, again, sometimes it has to do with the individual. Some people love selflessly that you wonder where they're from. As in, why can't you meet such a human being? So there are people and there are people. So until we connect to the right one, Mr. Hamza is right. You can be in love and not be kind. How you talk to people, how you relate to them, even brothers and sisters. I'm sure you know that they have that blood or connection or love. They don't, like, now you're giving somebody something and you just toss it. Does that mean you don't love the person? But you weren't kind in giving that thing. I want to give you pizza now. I just throw the pizza. Does that mean I don't love you? I love you, but I wasn't kind to you. So some people are in love and not kind or not caring. So they're different. But love is supposedly supposed to attribute or cover everything.
But as long as we are human beings, we go there for one by one.
Yeah.
Okay, Judas, my one and only PL, my Keyus Bobo, my
bros me.
My love in Tokyo, my love in America. But unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
All right, listen attentively.
Yes, sir. My love, I'm listening.
The definition of love depends on the person who is defining it. And what happens is that whatever is your own love language is what you actually talk. You talk from that angle. So while Abby was talking, I could tell that words of affirmation are high up in Abby's love language. For example, just look at Abby now. Just watch her. Abby, you are the most beautiful person I have seen today. You see what I mean? So the thing about
you
see what I mean? So actually, what you don't
I know he's lying, but I still liked it.
No, that's the thing. So what I'm trying to bring out there is that when you find somebody's love language, it's almost like you have control over them completely. What I mean by that is that whether they like it or not, they will respond. You actually can't even hold yourself from responding to the person who has understood your love language. Right? It's dangerous, but at the same time, it's the currency for which you actually enjoy a relationship, whatever that relationship is.
Sorry, we'll read the comments later.
So when Abby was saying that run, when she was giving an example, Ron is not kind, he speaks hard words. It's because when Ron speaks to Abby, Ron speaks from the position of, this is the truth. Meanwhile, Abby's love language is words. So every word you say to Abby is dissected to its comma, its full stop. So in speaking to Abby, you actually have to put together your words carefully because she'll remember it. With those words too, they will take off her pants.
Ha!
That's the reality.
I don't go lie. They don't take and come out my pants before. Yes.
So that's because words of affirmation is her key. That's her key. Now, for the person who it is gifts, right? Or like I go and tell her, I could tell that it looks like it's acts of service. So she's saying the person is not kind, the person is not kind. So I go and tell her it's the person that she'll come home, they've ordered pizza, they've made the bed, she comes in, the thing she wants to wear tomorrow, they've ironed it for her.
Amen, somebody.
She by herself, she has removed her top already. What do you need? Right?
I tell you.
You know the truth, because now let me tell you how that thing works. If you understand the love language of your boss or whoever, if you understand the love language to a certain extent, there are some things you can do. For example, if gifts is the love language of your boss and you buy coffee and you go and give your boss coffee that I thought of you on my way, I thought you might like this, you are getting promoted. In fact, nobody will be able to talk evil about you.
You're right.
That's because you cannot try not to respond to your love language. For me now, it is touch. So what you don't understand about touch.
I shower.
No. That's the thing. You always confuse. You're mixing touch up with sex.
I was just
joking.
No, but let me, because some people actually think like that. Touch is that you are walking by, you come and hug the person for no reason. Or
touch is also my thing. I love that.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Or the person is like there. That phone that you're saying they are playing with, right? When it is touch, you just go and hug the person. The person who it is touch will drop the phone. True. And respond to that hug back. Right? However, exactly. So you see, that's the thing. You have to understand the love. The problem though is that people speak their own language to other people. That is almost like you get up from Ghana, you now go to Togo and you go and start spending cedis. They don't take cedis there
at all.
Right? You cannot get up from Mexico, right, and then go to Nigeria and be trying to spend pesos. They will not accept it. So you have to, if you are going to reach somebody, if you are going to get value from somebody else, you must speak their own language, which means that you must find out what their currency is and you must double down on paying them in their currency. Then you will get value out of the person.
PK, but why is it that I can get up from UK and go to Nigeria and spend pound?
Yeah, well, that's why I don't want to use that example, but that's because it can be translated. But what I'm trying to say is that you have to speak in their own currency for the thing. Actually, the reason, let me actually even use that. The reason why you can do that is only because that pound exchanged to a lot of their naira.
Of money, yeah. It speaks more.
If it was not exchanged to a lot of their naira, it would be basically you are speaking language that you don't understand. Anybody at all, if you study, I didn't listen fully to what Mr. H was saying, but from what he was talking about kindness, if I listened well enough, I would have been able to tell you which of the 5 it is, for which if you try it on him, it will work every single time.
Like magico.
Yeah.
Because he dodged the question quite artfully. I asked him what were his love languages. He went on to start describing love languages. Instead of answering me and saying, this is my love language.
You always describe it from, so when you say some people are not kind, right? Depending on the person who they love, if the love language of somebody is gift, do you know there are some people that you will exchange words now, they've forgotten it. 5 minutes later, they're like, so what are you going to eat? You're wondering that. So for me? Touch is my number 1, right?
My brain has been prepared.
Words of affirmation is like number 2 for me. So that word that we exchange, I remember everything. You can't come to me 5 minutes after we've had that,
Mm-hmm.
heated conversation and be asking me what I'm going to eat. I'm still very upset. I'm still processing everything you said. Meanwhile, if word of affirmation is the last on your list, you have just abused somebody's grandmother, right? And you're coming to say, so what are we eating for dinner? You're wondering that what do you mean by what are we eating for dinner? Do you not see that there's a big matter on ground? No. Those are the people who usually can speak anything, and then basically next phase they're like, all right, let's go out.
But PK, I found out that, and I don't know whether it's work that created that situation. Someone will say something that will upset me, but if I still have to work with them, if I have to do something with them, I know how to talk it underneath, do the job, and get out of there. But trust and believe, we still they fight.
But you're being a professional. You're being a professional, which professional just means that you're an actor. Yes. You take all your emotions, you hang it on the door, you wear the robe of that thing they call professional, you go in and do your work like nothing, like you have no emotions. Yeah. That's just being a professional.
But right? Where I go catch you, I dey wait.
Yes. And then on the flip side, there's somebody in that same office that'll be like, wow, Abby, your hair looks amazing. Every time I see you, it's like the sun is shining. I just like having you in the office next to me. Next thing, that person will ask you for anything, you'll be willing to do it.
In fact, there's somebody that catches me like that in the office. Now that you just mentioned it. Yay! So that's what I
do you
forget. Ojoro, nothing again. She not go see food from her hand again.
Go on.
Because I'm reading the comments.
Sorry, can we go to the comments? Yes, let me quickly.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Ron, can you highlight the comments for me?
Yeah, before you go to the comments, please, if you are watching because of our algorithm, please click like, subscribe, like this video you're watching right now,
and share.
If you're on YouTube and Facebook, watching from YouTube, there are a lot of people today. If you're watching from YouTube or Facebook, please click like, subscribe, and share to your friends who can. For those of you watching me from Instagram doesn't allow multi-platform, and even when it does, it's messy.
But like us, like us, and subscribe to us on YouTube.
Then okay, I'm not telling. Let me wait. Sorry, let me highlight
the comments. So Cheryl Torres said, Uncle Ron, that's not love language. Quality time would be Ron's love language. He taught his wife to ride a bike. Who doesn't like gifts? Because that's Agontene. Then Yogini said, hi, honey. Hi, Yogini. Then Abifash said, my love languages are receiving gifts, acts of service, and listening. I think that's why we gel together, because we have virtually the same kind of love languages. Then Bumi, I just said, you need to break down the acts of service. And I think Mr. H has already done that for you. Then Agontene said, will you say communication falls under words of affirmation? Yes, of course it does. Yes, and the concept said hello. No, let me just read all the comments.
Okay, all right.
Let me read all the comments. Then Agontene said, PDA, some men love it too. That is true. Felix Peter says, can you love someone without being kind? We've already said yes, you can. Agontene said, absolutely. Felix Peter said, I thought kindness is part of the characteristics of love, which is true. It's supposed to be part of the characteristics. Yeah. You've moved it. I'm trying to get back to it. Just because there's a lot of comments. Just leave it. I'll get to it. Agontene, there's a supposed to be, but your manner of approach to things shows if you're kind or not. Then Anizo said, Mr. H, I'm still confused here because I believe that love is that act of kindness. But now you said that love is far from kindness. It's not far from it, but it can, there's subtleties to it. Then Agontene said, Mr. H is right. Then Felix Peter said, I don't understand how you can separate kindness and love. And then Anizo said, you can't be in love and not be kind. Well, it is possible. Then Icepeed said, what is your definition of kind to a woman? Women don't want to hear the truth. Another one who is always saying truth and being unkind in the name of telling truth. Then Felix said, if kindness is not involved, how do you define it as love? Then High Speed again spoke to his countryman Ron. How are you? Cheryl Torres says, I believe. Cheryl Torres says, I believe the acts of kindness come before love. The problem is when the act stops. Then Anisa said, you can't claim that you love someone and not be kind to him or her. That's not love, but impersonation. Then Felix said, in fact, the first property of love should be kindness. Then Cheryl said, I agree with you, Felix. Then Anisa said, love comes first before kindness. Then Cheryl said, how will you fall in love with someone who doesn't show kindness first? Felix said, some couples are just running partnership organization. They are not in love, only trying to coexist. Love is kind. Then Chuk said, just join now. Well done all. I can see my personal people here. Abby Agontene, Ronald, Oga Kayode. Then Cheryl said, is anyone reading the comments? We are. Then Chuk said, yeah, PDA things. Abifash said, Sake, don't corrupt us children. Then Chuk said, kindness is a form of love language. So that's the comment. I think this is the one that we've had the longest amount of comments.
From that book, there is no such thing as acts of kindness. There's acts of service.
Acts of service.
So you know the funny thing, everybody's saying you have to be kind, you have to be kind. But when you ask any one of these people the definition of kindness, you very quickly find that what they are defining to be kindness is their own love language. So the more you do their own love language, they'll say you are kind. So Abby now will look at me and say, wow, he's such a kind person. That's because his compliment is wow. Now hot.
It's a lie. It's because you truly have been kind to me.
But Ron, you will say Ron doesn't love you enough because he's not kind, and he's not kind.
I beg you, he doesn't love me, Gary. He just likes to shout at me. Even today, I tried. This something that I was thinking was something nice. So if you see how he just finished me, I'm still doing my belly. Just hold that one.
By the time you now go to
I was protecting her.
I could protect you. Did I ask you to protect me? Did I ask you?
Hey, Candy.
This is the wife of the Slayer of the Year.
Candy.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Hey. I'm supposed to be walking, Candy. Don't mind them. Our Lakoba.
Hi, Candy. Hi.
I'm good. How are you?
Brought up will I now be telling people that they were talking love language, so I left work and came out?
No, you're not getting into trouble, John.
No. The thing is that if you ask anybody the definition of kindness, they will start describing it from their own point of view, and their point of view is always what their love language is.
Absolutely.
So if you want to know, if you are going to get a hold of anybody, whether even is a friend, if you understand their love language, some people guess. But if you understand their love language and you give them their love language, they will respond. So,
Mr.
for example, Mr. If you
I just saw you disappear.
As it's describing kindness, you can't be kind. You can. By the time you ask him, describe the thing now. Somebody will tell you, when I come home, there's food to eat. You know, you do realize that's a big deal. Okay, so let me help you understand it. There are some people that if they cook and you don't eat it, right? They will go into depression.
Yeah.
Right? Why? Because acts of service is a big deal for them. That you rejected their act of service is basically there's nothing else you can do to say that you love them. It is the people who understood that secret that used to say, I will not eat. Then there are some men that went and married person that is not their.
You married someone like me, it's hungry that will kill you.
Exactly. That was the next example I was going to give. So someone like Abby now, she cooks. Maybe acts of service is not a thing for her. She cooks. You now say you're not eating. Okay, put it in the fridge now. Any day in 2 weeks' time when you're ready to eat, you eat. It's not a big deal for her. She ironed your dress. You could not say thank you. So Olori Buruku, next time you will see who will.
Exactly. Because I hate ironing. And I iron your own, you know, say thank you.
So the thing that really hurts somebody, for me, all the times I ever tried to hug somebody and they resisted me, I have not forgotten it. It just stays with me. I still remember trying to hug an aunt who moved back. I still remember the thing. It's 20-something years ago. She doesn't recollect. It probably wasn't a big deal to her. But ever since then, I have not attempted to just suddenly go and hug her.
And do you know, I remember an aunt, I was roughly about 6, and she came from the UK, and she had a colossal load of makeup on. And my dad didn't like makeup on it. So in a way, I always wrapped my head around his ideals. And this aunt came, and she was like, because they call me Tokwe now. She's like, Tokwe peperepe. And I will never forget. I can still see it even as I'm talking about it. And she planted a kiss on me. If you see the way I was scrubbing, my mother smacked me because the way I was doing, and I just rubbing it off my face. So much so, I actually had a rash. I'm not saying she's the one that gave, but I rubbed it so much, I must have given myself a rash from it. And I was like, But because I do like to be touched, but it's weird how that one thing of her, and I can never forget. Auntie, if you're listening, please forgive me.
Meanwhile, if touch was her thing, right, she will never forget that you actually behaved like that.
Yeah, right. Auntie, again, I'm sorry if you're watching.
So when you talk of couples, right? So let me just quickly round up so that when you talk of couples, right, the reason why love seems to run cold is that people do not realize that it's like fuel. You have to keep fuel in the tank. If there's no fuel in the tank, the engine will knock. Period. Right? So you have to keep refilling it. And if you are filling a diesel engine with kerosene, the engine will still knock.
That's true.
Right? So
because you're putting in the wrong language in it.
Yeah. So you have to put premium fuel in premium engine. You cannot put diesel inside.
Sure.
And vice versa, it doesn't work. And that's the reason why I would say a lot of these things crash. If you want to test this thing, go to your ex and go and test their real love language and see whether you will not wrap them.
I want to ask a question though. Why is it that some people, when they meet, they're like, "Ooh, is like paper with soaked in kerosene coming near a flame." It's like the love is everywhere, and then very quickly can't stand each other. They can't seem to understand each other. They can't. It's nothing. And it's like, how is the same person? Like how?
You have skipped a whole chapter there. You have skipped the fact that when they first came, all that whole whatever the love language is kind of gel. Maybe they didn't know, but he was like, and when you ask the person, why do you like this person? Kai, he's so kind, or she's so amazing.
The person was
really ready. She's so amazing, but the thing is that they don't realize that that's the fuel, and then suddenly people think that you can just cut off the fuel that is not necessary anymore. Once you cut off the fuel, the car is running on fumes. Period. They don't realize how important it is that fuel that is premium that you accidentally put in there that it was working needs to continue. The moment it ceases, the moment you start saying, "Oh, this is the real me," what you are telling me that now is that I should be working with kerosene. When you met me, you met me with premium fuel. You put premium fuel inside. I now sign contract. You are telling me that this is the real you, that you use kerosene normally. Hello, the engine will knock.
The fact it will not only knock, it will catch fire.
You see, so just imagine, think about those relationships. So you somehow, you see, people don't think it's true. That's the nurturing of service. So you're there, you're cooking. You're there, you're ironing. You're there, you're cleaning the whole house, right? Male or female.
Like a baby.
The person has said, "Oh my goodness, this is the person who's meant for it." Then basically they now go and sign life contract thinking that they've gotten permanent fuel source. Then you now say, "Oh, the real me, actually, I don't usually do that. I just did that for that time."
Please, why can I unsign? I don't want again.
But that's the thing. So from that time on, what you just said out loud, Abby, is what some people actually start thinking of from that time onwards till they have the opportunity to finally execute on it. So everything they do after that is an attempt to get out of that contract.
In fact, the moment you tell me, "Oh, I just did that because you're dating," I'm sorry, Ojoro comes, everything has ended in my mind.
The next person they find outside that is putting the premium fuel in the premium engine automatically becomes the person they are focused on. So if you are wondering why things happen, it is because they found somebody putting in premium fuel in a premium engine.
But what then happens to sorry that I'm focusing on PK. It's just that he's giving some solid answers here. What then happens to the person who, okay, like for example, now for me, you're there taking care of me, being kind to me, giving me all the things I want, telling me how amazing I am, even when I do something that is stupid and I'm going, oh, I've messed up, you go, babes, we all mess up, you don't have to be too hard on yourself, that kind of thing, like you're ticking all the boxes for me, and then all of a sudden that ends.
Yeah,
all that ends, right? And
yes.
And I'm like, I beg, I need to get out of this. I get out of it. Someone like me, if I meet someone else who is now ticking the boxes, I will always be looking at the person with suspicion.
Yes, until
like I not trust. I not trust saying that.
Only for as long as it takes for you to start to convince yourself again that this fuel is not temporary, that this is the fuel that will always come out of this person. As soon as you are convinced again, it's back to basically things are coming off your body again. Abby said that.
Why do they have to come off my body?
Because that usually happens in most.
Okay. So Mr. H, before we go to Candy, Mr. H, though you have not done the question, what are your love languages?
Oh, I thought I mentioned it earlier on. It's little things for me, like the caring and just little things.
There are 5. So mention one of the 5. Don't give us sub translation.
What is the first? Yeah, act of service. That's what I chose.
Act of service, quality time. Touch.
No, it's act of service. It's just
act of service. That's your love language.
Yeah, just little things.
Somebody does something for you, you're happy as Larry and you're in love.
Yeah, I'm a very happy person. I'm a very happy person. Very happy. Just little things. It counts. Even say good morning. It's fine. It's how are you doing? It's fine.
I have your number. I'll be texting you. I
don't like Mr. H now. He wants to go to work. They come with iron shirts. For him, he's like Then basically he's like, oh, before you leave, I packed you some breakfast.
I put a note in it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just make you laugh. The lady I was dating before, long time ago, when we used to have quarrels, and she knows that it's out of service. When she's coming, she just buys 6-pack of beer for me. When she just brings it at I'm fine. I'm happy. I don't. She knows. She just buy the 6-pack. She knows the brand. She just buy the 6-pack of the brand and she just show up at the door. I'm not angry anymore. That's me.
Okay.
Wait, Mr. H, now go on and take me.
Mr. H,
you said before.
Mr. H, that almost sounds like it sounds like gift. So
yes,
yeah, but
like gifts.
But yeah, it's not gifts. It's not about. I'm not talking about clothes. Just she knows that I love that particular brand of beer. If you even buy only one can, it's okay. Me, I'm happy.
Yeah, but it's still a gift. It's still a gift. It's an act of
service. Yeah, but just to come
gift.
It's bribe.
No, but you can always bribe anybody with their love language. So let me give you an example, Abby. No matter how angry you are, right? If somebody knows your love language and they wake up in the morning, you are still angry, then they start your oriki.
Hey, I'm done.
You see what I mean? For example, me, right? It doesn't matter how upset. For example, my Pekin, he did for house. That's why when he was young, I spark up. The guy come cry, come raise hand, make I carry him. Whatever was on my mind basically melted, and I was even feeling bad. Why I do like this? I wicked, but it was because of that, right?
Yeah.
So no matter how upset I am, right? Because it's touch, right? If the person come hug me, you don't come out to my body.
I know your secret now, America.
Where you go see me? Where you go see me hug? But that's the thing. So that's the thing. What I'm trying to say is that the love language of an individual actually is what it calms them down all the time. It reconfirms to them that this person loves them. And it's different. It falls under one of those 5. Actually, there's one that I've noticed which is not there. And people don't mention them. PDA. That one I don't understand it. But PDA,
that's under touch. That's a public display of affection.
No. Okay, so maybe that's not correct. You see that one way now outside, then they make the hype day. So it's not just touch. There are some people they want make una day for party. Then
it's part of touch, but some people like to be public with their.
These same people, as soon as they get into the car or that there are no people to observe, that whole thing disappears. Like, don't touch me.
But that is not love now. That one is
that's show acting.
That one is show.
So I don't know what it is, but I realize that there's
some people. I don't even know.
Whatever you call it, those people who are into it, actually, their best friends are those who are able to do that a lot for them out there.
And now they're the ones who like celebrities and going to Owambes and things like that.
It is some sort of love language. It's weird to me, but I would say it's a love language because it works for them all the time.
But you see, you can't say, "Oh, darling, oh, hey, look at me and my boo." They not get into the car. Don't touch me.
Yes, yes.
That is not a love language because already
that's not love language.
That's not love language.
This particular thing I'm describing, that's how it works. Only when people can see, right?
Okay.
And
but that's the thing. Love language isn't dependent on whether others can see it or not.
As soon as it does short, it's like don't come near me until the next time they are people.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but this is based.
Agonti.
We can't hear you.
Agonti, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Well, Nora, yes, I can only find 5 forms. I actually read somewhere there was 7, but for the life of me, I can't remember what the other 2 are. I'm so sorry. And Felix Peter said, I believe there are standard definitions to these things. So I don't believe in defining them depending on personality. No, the definition isn't based on personality. There are standard definitions. What PK is saying is that you will look at a person and gauge their love based on your own love language, right? That's what you're saying. Yeah. So for me, now if I meet, let's say I met Ron and I met PK and I met Mr. Hamza and the 3 of them are trying to date me, automatically Ron is out of the running. I beg, carry your wallet and go because he's the Mr. Faxman, and me, I will always be remembering the things he said to me. So anything else that he does, you see that thing he said, I will not forget. So he won't be in the running. So the one that will cause me confusion, and that's why you see a woman being in confusion about who she wants to be with, because one is appealing to her top love language and the other one is appealing to her next top love language. Yeah. So now if I see PK, I'll be like, okay, PK, he's kind, and he makes me laugh and he likes music and this and that and that. So I'll be like, okay, 10. Then I'll go to Mr. Hamza and say, Mr. Hamza has sweet words, he's gentle, he doesn't like rakatia, he doesn't have fights. But will he make me laugh? Because he's very, very quiet. He doesn't talk much. He doesn't seem to be someone who likes small ruffle. But PK likes small ruffle. He knows how to tease me to a point that I will laugh. So when it comes to 2 of them, who do you think is going to win? It's going to be PK now. So and this is just people that are just my friends. I have not seen Mr. Hamza ever before. I have never seen PK before in real life. I've seen Ron in real life when we were in secondary school.
I believe you now.
Some people will not believe me the way that we behave, because you would think that I have met all three before, but I haven't. The only person I've met before is Ron, who was and that was in school, in secondary school. So, so can you see what we are saying?
We also saw again 2005.
We saw in 2005. Where?
That visit to Cambridge extra meeting, I kept on meeting with your cousin.
Oh, when I came to London.
No.
Oh, when I came to Nigeria. No, it wasn't 2005. It was 2008 that I came to Nigeria.
Oh, 2008, yeah. Now you came to your cousin.
Okay, yes. So yes, we saw in that one. So can you imagine? And I've only met one of the three of them. So
and anybody you meet again, Abby, that basically taps into your love language, it will confuse you only more. So you cannot be judging people when they are confused. They are confused because they are under circumstances that they have you see, people think they have control over their senses. You actually don't have as much control as you think you have. Because
that is your mumu button.
Somebody gets
that's your mumu button.
Yes, that exactly. So what we define, the layman's, the ordinary person on the street, that mumu button, if somebody gets a hold of it, yet you don't have a choice, you will respond to it. You really don't have a choice.
Okay, Candy's too busy. When you're ready.
Have we heard Candy's love language? Because I need to.
No, we have not. We are waiting for Candy. Agonti has gone.
Okay, so come back now. It's our network. I need to know what makes that Candy's love language tick to the point whereby they're just winning awards for marriages and love and all these things in the house and good wife.
There's only one conversation where Candy's love language. Ron will have complete control over her. Because every time she's the best.
No, I know Candy's love language now. Candy, don't I know your love language?
What's my love language?
The showering of accolades.
What?
No, I think it's
showering of accolades. That's not my.
Yes.
No, I think Candy's love language is when someone does something unexpectedly for her.
That'll be acts.
I think it gets her to a place of great joy.
That'll be acts of service.
Yes.
Okay. So
and then followed by.
What are all the options?
So there is wait. Let me go to it so I can be accurate.
There is quality time. There is touch. There is what else? Words of affirmation.
So words of affirmation, physical touch, receiving gifts, quality time, acts of service.
Because receiving gifts is 0 for me. I don't remember.
I don't mind, but I don't care.
Can you have more? Can you have more than one?
Yes.
Yeah. You usually have. You could even have two that are like both at the same, which means any one of them will work on you, or you have one that's slightly higher than the other.
So in general, okay, I guess we're talking about with our partners or whatever. So I definitely like receiving gifts.
Especially swords.
I love receiving power tools.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's my favorite
It's actually not power tools. It's the fact that the person thought that you like to do this, so this will be handy. It's the thought behind the gift actually that gets you excited.
Well, I actually tell him so.
Okay. Oh yeah. What else?
But yeah, doing something. Yeah, acts of service definitely. I like people who are thoughtful, and when someone's thoughtful, that's really So I think those and I mean spending time too, spending quality time.
Yes, I think that would be a secondary because you do love spending time, but you're also like cool with doing things on your own.
Oh yeah.
So last year I thought I was going to marry again, and I went and hung out with the person. The person spent time watching Netflix while I was there.
I have a work phone coming in. Call. I'll be right back.
That's all right. That's all right. You go on. Okay. Now I have something that I have here. It says
restart your phone or something. Your camera and your mic isn't working, so that's what I'm not able to handle.
Okay, so it says how to communicate with the love languages and the actions to take. So with words of affirmation, how to communicate is by encouraging, affirming, and reinforcing positive messages. So with words of affirmation, how to communicate is by encouraging, affirming, and reinforcing positive messages. So with words of affirmation, how to communicate is by encouraging, affirming, and reinforcing positive messages. So with words of affirmation, how to communicate is by encouraging, affirming,
Is it only me or is Abby hanging everywhere?
Appreciating, encourage, and often.
Start
Then
again.
physical touch. I should start again.
Yeah, you froze.
Did you say I should start again?
Yeah.
Okay, words of affirmation. How to communicate. Encourage, affirm, appreciate, empathize, listen actively. Then the actions to take. Send an unexpected note, text or card. Genuinely encourage and often. The physical touch is non-verbal. Use body language and touch to express love. Hug. Then the actions are hug, kiss, hold hands, show physical affection often. Make intimacy a thoughtful priority. So not just a priority, oh yeah, let us go now, but a thoughtful priority. Then receiving gifts, thoughtfulness. So how to communicate that is thoughtfulness. Make your spouse a priority. Speak purposefully. Then actions to take. Give thoughtful gifts and gestures. Small things matter in a big way. Express gratitude when receiving a gift. Then quality time. How to communicate. Uninterrupted and focused conversations. One-on-one critical. It's a me. So okay, actions to take. Create special moments together. Take walks and do small things with your partner. Weekend getaways are huge. This person knows me.
That's
I
without
love you.
phone.
Okay.
That's without phone.
Edda, without phone, throw your phone away. To throw your phone away. I don't want to see that phone. Then acts of service. Use action phrases like I'll help. They want to know you're with them, partnered with them. And then actions to take. Do chores together or make them breakfast in bed. Go out of your way to help elevate their daily workload. So that's one of the
So
different
whenever
ways.
you hear somebody say, "Oh, he brought me breakfast in bed," you can tell what their love language is. Meanwhile, there are some people
Exactly.
Just a
Now,
can't-
things
just
to
a can't
avoid.
gesture.
What? Sorry, Mr. H, what did you
Wait,
say?
To me, it's just a kind gesture to bring
See what I
somebody.
mean?
It's not.
See what I mean
It's not.
by acts of service?
It's not that one. Is
See what I mean by acts of service? So to him now, they
okay,
bring me
things
this
to
thing, that
avoid.
thing. Meanwhile, there are some other people, just before you go on, there are some other people that be like, oh, you're going to put crumbs in the bed, I beg. Why are you bringing food inside the room?
Do you know I know someone like that? Like,
Because that's not their, because
it's
that's
only
not their
bread.
thing.
It
Because
is
that's not
only
their
bread and egg. Please calm down. Let us be calming down.
thing. Because that's
Okay,
not their thing.
so things to avoid for words of affirmation: not recognizing or appreciating effort. Then for physical touch, physical neglect or abuse. So when you just don't even bother, the person sitting there, they're like, hey babe, they're trying to reach out to you, you just go past them. And they're like, they come to the kitchen, they touch your shoulder. Oh, babe, leave me, I'm having a headache. Things like that. That's the things to avoid. Then then receiving gifts. The things to avoid are unenthusiastic gifts receiving, forgetting special occasions. You see, for a lot of women, it's like that's when you forget birthdays and anniversaries, it's like that thing is important because you'll be like, oh, I don't know, Sha. If you forget, I can forgive it. What's my birthday? I think my birthday is the only thing I will not forgive if someone forgets. Okay. Quality time, things to avoid. Distractions when spending time together. This is so me. I hate it. Distractions when spending time together. Long time without one-on-one time. That I hate that. Then acts of service, lacking follow through on small and large tasks. So you have a partner who you say, babe. So first of all, you have to tell him, babe, can you take the bin out? Okay, I'll do it in the next 10 minutes. Then 2 days later, the bin is still there. Or babe, the sink is leaking. Don't worry, I'll get it done. 1 week later, you just vex and go and get plumber because the one who told you is going to do it has not done it.
So
you think it's a small thing, but it's really a big thing.
For the person so when you tell somebody who their love language is acts of service that, oh, take the car to the mechanic yourself, right? As far as they are concerned, that plane ticket you bought is useless because small car, help them with car, you can't help them with car. You see, that's where couples actually start to drift apart. Then when they now get on the bench of the therapist, they'll be like, but I bought you a ticket to London. I bought you this. I don't need your ticket. You ordinary tire, you can't help me change. So they've been speaking the wrong love language.
PK, there's this Candy, I'm sure you've seen it. There's this thing on Instagram where a woman goes and says, people, my husband just told me that he wants to divorce me, he hates me, and he wants to make sure that our marriage ends. And the man goes, no, I didn't say that. I just said that I'm not ready to go out to the restaurant that you want, and I'd rather sit at home and eat. And she just said, it's the same thing.
No, I haven't seen that. That's hilarious.
It's the same thing.
You know? There are some people that will think, oh, but I cook food for you now. I just want to be able to watch Netflix while we're sitting down.
No, I want us to go out because
right? So for that person, so the one person is thinking, why do you have to watch Netflix now that I basically carved out this time to hang out with you? The other person is thinking, I cooked all this food for you. Just sit down and eat and relax. Must we be talking?
And then one person goes and calls a friend. SOS, I think Kegu wants to divorce me. Why? He refused to go out with me to the cinema. And he's listening and he goes, but I didn't say that. It's the same thing.
Both of them are spending currencies that belong to the wrong person.
Yeah.
So that is what you call Ashedanu.
There's no Ashedanu. There's no Ashedanu there. And I know what you're alluding to. Stop it. Stop that right now. Okay, but this is the thing. Okay, talking about love languages. So we know that, most of the time when people understand our love languages, we respond to it and everything. But can it become tiring? Can someone's love language become tiring to the person who has to deal with them, who has to live with them?
Yeah,
because I know that, for example, that one of my parents is not a touchy-feely person.
Yeah.
So if you come and do the whole we said you don't find yourself in the next building. Some are sugars there. Meanwhile, the other parents,
So, Abby, the answer to your question is simple, right? Your best option when you're in luck, you find somebody who your love languages match so that it comes easy, right? It's just you.
Does it become easy though?
If it's your love language already, that means basically you have jollof rice that you like and you're eating out of the jollof rice. But then in reality, that's not how it works. So when you want quality transactions or value, right? You basically put effort into paying for it, correct? The same thing with a transaction. When you say you're in love, you have to put premium fuel to get the best performance out of the engine. You can put kerosene, it will roll down the street before it knocks. It won't knock immediately, but it is on its way to knocking. Same thing. So if you say you're tired, it's like, can you say you're tired of your premium engine and put kerosene inside? Because if you can't, then you can't do it also when it comes to relationships. Well, you can, but there's a consequence.
So that also then puts paid to that concept of opposites attract. Because if you're saying, if two people have the same kind of love language, then it will be easy for them to just be in a relationship because, me and you both like touch, we both like words of affirmation. So, okay.
You still have to bring your A game every day. That's the work there. If you want to get value, you bring your A game, you will get A value. If you bring kerosene, you will get kerosene value. Very simple. And the moment you start slowing it down, you will also experience a slowdown. If the engine is dry, then it will just knock.
Okay, Ifeanyi, are you there? Are you there? Are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, okay. Have you been listening to us?
Yes, now you were to call the love language expert. Is there any talk again?
In fact, the way he has been tutoring us on this love language is something. You know that he was so happy when he saw the topic. He was like, this is my thing. Okay. So, what are your love languages and what are your ideas about love languages?
Just give me a second. My own love language is knocking. Hold on first. Hey,
He said in my own love language is knocking. That's his wife. I love that. And you see that thing about words. That's why for me, I love books. When I watch, hi, hello, sweetheart. Oh my God, your husband loves you. Die. In fact, the two of you are making love to hungry us.
Budu, that's why you not be picking my call, Abi.
Okay,
Don't worry, I forgive you.
We want you to join our show, please.
She has got to do something else.
She has taken off. Please, try and convince us. Oh God, she's so pretty. Wow. All you this man, you went to go and find five women, eh?
This one, she found you. That's the only.
And she found you when you did not have the game, Uber.
No, that's weird. She actually found me with the game, and then it's not. So I'm under threat not to cut the game. I'm looking for permission to.
In case you're wondering what game means, it's beard. It's beard in Hausa.
I'm looking for permission to.
Because I just realized that there'll be people who will be wondering what are we talking about when you're saying game. Okay, so Felix Peter says, I have a question. Does choosing your partner based on horoscope work? You want a pastor, you want Reverend Ron to scatter you. Okay, well, I would tell you from my own personal point of view now, and I know Reverend Ron is not going to like it, so just off yourself for now. Mute yourself, get off while I say this. Now, this is my belief, and I can't say it's Bible based or whatever, but when there are many things that when people were looking for things that were precious, they followed the star, they looked to the skies, that kind of thing. So this is something that this is a science that has been in practice long before technology and all of that came in place. When the three wise men were looking for Jesus, they followed the star. They looked at the stars. They saw, okay, this is how the stars are. They've been looking at it for a while, so they knew what they were looking at. And then when they saw the different star, they knew it was a different star. When they saw it move, they saw this one is moving differently, and they followed it. Now, according to horoscopes, all of us are born under different stars or different arrangements of stars that work in time with the moon and the wave of waters and all of that to affect the kind of people we are. And technically, for a lot of people, you can almost guess their horoscopes and be at least 85% correct when you meet them, if you know horoscopes well. Once you see them, you'll be like, this one is a Leo, I beg. Like me, I know Leos because I have 2 in my household. So I know them. So there are different things like that. Now, would I go and choose a partner based on horoscope? I think that would be stupid. And the reason why I say it would be stupid is a horoscope is not a... it depends on what people believe, but to me it's not a major component of what a person is. It's just about the way that they see things, the way that they operate on things, and that kind. It's not really about who they are. I think it's more important to look at, and okay, Reverend Roma can come back. I think it's more important to look at the person's spirit. And when I say spirit, I mean the way that they are grounded, the way that they are, who they are as people, what is it that they believe in, what it is that their core values are. I think that's more important than is the person Taurus, is the person Pisces, is the person Gemini. that really means nothing. Is what's the person's core value? I think that's what is more important. So that's my answer. Yeah. So and he said, Uncle Ron go finish you with this answer.
Let me help you before you sink further.
I'm not thinking. You see, I'm not thinking. Stop it.
Wait.
I want to go and take my medication, and I'll be right back.
Wait. You won't learn if you're not here to listen to the explanation.
I want to go and take my medication. Or should I die because you want to talk? Okay.
Let me be giving you proceeds before. Abby, you could have gone to take medication. I forgive you.
Let me tell her. Let me tell her. Those three wise men, they were dealing with astronomy, right? The question is asking how to do with astrology. Two different things. Okay? So now, when we're dealing with astrology, yes, back those days, they didn't have enough sample. Like Ogaka Yode would say science. The science didn't have enough sampling to prove whatever belief they had then. So it was just based on their immediate environment. But this modern times, reality and events have shown that it's not always the case. When you say somebody's Scorpio, somebody's Sagittarius, somebody's Leo, and all that. Yes, fundamentally it's meant to be so, but we now begin to see that people, a single human being can change character or attitude. Let's say character from displaying a real kind of character and jump to spices in just one lifetime, one person. So it's not a foolproof idea, or it's not a foolproof system to vet people. And I would not advise anybody to vet anybody or anything based on astrology. I don't want to say it, but I don't want it to solve it. It's not. I just know it's not a good idea to use astrology. It works with a certain sample, but it's not 100% useful. That's all I'll say for now.
But just piggybacking on that, what I think people do when it comes to horoscopes and love is that you try to use it to confirm what you think you're feeling. So it's almost like you go to the horoscope.
You find whatever you're looking for, you find it because that's what
you're just looking for a conviction that says, I saw him, I liked him, and I checked the horoscope and it tallied, and he looked at this, and I looked for those attributes. You're just looking for a confirmation. It's like you helping God with your prayer, as opposed to just looking at the mirror and taking the value for what it is, or having an open mind to actually learn about the person. It's never going to work. So I don't think it's something you should subscribe to. The gist I wanted to give you was I saw one TikTok video that made my heart rejoice. One woman was showing her husband's reaction for each time she served him food, and I realized that was his love language. The way the man would look up like a dog and then say thank you. And if you see the food, even myself, I'll fall in that love language. And this was now this is not it's a Nigerian man. So if you see the thank you, when the guy say the thank you, even from your heart, you follow and say thank you. It was different dishes. Sometimes. But what I wanted to point out there was the love language in motion, weirdly. Because for each time she brought the food, he was so grateful to say thank you. Why she was recording the video was because so that my husband always says thank you each time I bring the food. Without knowing it, the guy was always just grateful that my wife's having me food. So while she was busy working hard and creating all these dishes, this man was happily enjoying himself, but the thank you was coming from the heart. So it could just have been that her own was acts of service and his own was very
involuntary action, right?
Yes. So that's what happens when the thing rhymes and goes in motion. Well, which is why, as Ogaki will say, just learn your partner. But what I will ask is, when you learn with an open mind. Don't learn to confirm something. After time, we meet people and we learn to confirm something. What if we wipe the slate clean and tell this person, introduce yourself to me? If they cook with plenty salt, okay, just write it down. She cooks with plenty salt. Don't criticize, reduce the salt. No, don't go that way. Just learn the person. What happens when you learn the person is you start to see things from a different way. I remember there was a preaching that I could never forget. I've forgotten their name, but both of them preached together. a man and his wife. But the interesting thing about both of them was that the man said the first time when they married was the first time he saw what could cause domestic quarrel and cause divorce. The wife told him that after marriage, 1 week after that, she was going to make okra soup for him. Now, okra is his best soup. So the man was excited and they were going to make okra soup. But without knowing it, he went in, he was waiting in the parlor for them to make the okra soup. And he waited for a while, he wasn't seeing okra. He said, let me go and check the okra. And she was making fresh okra soup. That's fresh okra. Fine. But the man all his life has seen his mom make okra soup. So he walks into fresh okra soup and goes ballistic. This is not how you make okra. This is never how it is made. And he was really angry. She was angry. I'm over 18. I've been raised all my life making fresh okra. This is how you make sweet okra soup. Please, how do you solve that problem? The problem became, okay, how do you make the soup? So it is important that we have an open mind to background of what this person is coming from and read that slate from there. Then you can learn their love language. Then you can start paying into that piggy bank that will pay back always when you start to misbehave.
You know what? I just realized something because when she listed the love languages, I couldn't find anything to pick from. So maybe because I realized that it's only when my mother gives me food, I always say thank you. That's the only time without thinking about it, I just say thank you. I have to be like.
Actually, that would mean that acts of service is actually your love language.
Mm-hmm. I think acts of service. Okay, now
which is why that's why you went to teach how to ride a bike too.
Yeah, you know what? Now that we've gone deeper into this, I think the act of service has to do with act of service. Yes, whether it's domestic or I think it's act of service. The whole idea of okay, you did this thing. I think that should be. Then quality time too.
So let me ask you, Ron. When you are trying to be really nice to her, what do you think of doing?
Yeah.
When you decide that, you know what, let me really be nice to her. What do you think? What comes to your mind to do?
See, of all the 5 love languages you pointed out, my wife absorbs the whole 5, all of them. All the 5 is a love language, not even one.
I actually have found the 7 love languages. So, Sister Nora, but one I've looked at it now because that's the thing I couldn't remember. Sorry, my brain has a way of figuring things out. So the 7 love languages are actually a sort of redefinition and then expansion of the 5 main ones. So the first one, so I'll just read it so that we can understand. So the 7 love languages. Number 1, activity. These people feel special and valued when their partner actually takes an interest in their hobbies and activities. So that's the person who, they love, that's their own love language, activity. So like me now, if I meet someone and he has no interest in my crafting or in my DJ, we will have problem. Then appreciation. The people who feel the appreciation love language applies most to them will feel loved and adored when their partner showers them in compliments, praises, and appreciation, which is like words of affirmation. Then emotional. So emotional is for people who feel as though they can connect with their partner and be supported even through the toughest of time. These are partners who are present during the worst and the best moments. That's when their partners are around during the best and the worst moments, they're the ones who feel that's their emotional love language. Then financial love language, the person who feels loved when they have a partner who is generous with their money and sees the value in giving. So this is not gifts, this is money, so they feel valued, right? On that. Then intellectual, this is definitely my love language. Someone with intellectual love is someone who likes to be connected through the mind. They feel loved when their partner values their intelligence, respects their opinion, and takes part in thoughtful discussion of important issues. I think
you disqualified me. You disqualified it when I said it before.
Pick one.
When did I disqualify intellectual? When would I have ever disqualified the intellectual as my lover?
Pick one eye, they look out.
I said it before.
Let me continue. Did you hear him say intellectual and me? I said no, it's not love language.
No, the way everything in this fell
That's not the same book, right? That's a different. That's
a different book.
Talking about
then
love
physical.
language,
Physical is those who feel adored and validated through physical affection, hugs, hand holding, and cuddling. That is also touch. And then practical. Practical would be acts of service. These are people who feel the most love when their partners chip in with everyday duties and responsibilities. So these are people that their partners are not once upon a time or once in a blue moon time kind of helpers. They are daily, everyday. We are doing things. This is our home. We are doing something together. Those are the people. So those are the 7. So in a way, it's been broken down and then stretched out a bit. That's all that's been done. Yeah. So those are the 7 love languages, Sister Nora, in case you were listening. So yeah, but in the one that is stretched out, definitely, because like if you are not interested in my hobbies. And I've been with a couple of people. I've dated, not been in a relationship, but I've dated people that made me know there was no way I was extending into a relationship. I already knew this was dead on arrival because I'm doing my crafting and I'm saying, oh, and they're going, it's card. I don't know anything about card. Don't ask me about it. Already, bye-bye, say goodbye. And I won't tell you anything. I just like, and I'll just continue. But in my mind, you're gone. And the other person is when what?
You're lying. You're lying.
I'm not lying. How am I lying?
I'm sorry, the last person you dumped.
Abby.
I'm sorry, the last person you dumped was because of him not liking Naira Marley. That's why you dumped him.
Abby, interestingly enough,
not liking Naira Marley.
Yes, am I lying?
Michael Jackson. I said Michael Jackson, not Naira Marley.
You said you love Naira Marley. Anybody that does not like Naira Marley.
I never said anyone that does not like Naira Marley.
It was Michael Jackson. Thank you.
That is not that will rough me.
It was Michael Jackson.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
a big fan of Naira Marley in this day and age of.
You just want to put it out that I say I like that. Yes, I like Naira Marley. In Bayenko, I like Naira Marley. My favorite song of his is Coming. Kilo Feshe.
Okay. No problem.
No,
I
was saying, interestingly enough, so with all my all the crafting and whatever that I do, Mike takes like 0 interest. I'll be trying to get his opinion on something, and it's just like, why are you asking me this? But the funny thing though is when people come by and they're seeing stuff, he's like, oh, my wife built this, my wife made this, he's so proud and everything. But when I'm doing it, he shows no interest.
You see that no interest, I'll be crying. I'll be so offended.
Because that other one that Abby read, I think it's somebody who basically just read the 5 love language and tried to write their own. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But Candy, in this case, when you describe what's going on, right, you are also very, very excited when he now goes out and finds a tool that you need for that
absolutely.
same. See,
exactly.
So that really is the love language. The fact that this guy does not know jack about this, but the fact that he went out and got this tool means that he was thinking of me. That's the thought process of somebody who gives is the key. Is a key love language of.
That is a very funny thing. Let's use this crafting thing. Now, I went out with someone. I had a lover who knows nothing about crafting. But if I took something to him and I say, oh, this color and this color, and I put the colors, he'll be like, I like this color, but I really don't know anything, but me, I like this color. It might be the wrong color. I might not use it. But for the fact that he was like, I like this color, my heart will be sweeting me that, yes, at least. Then what he did one time that blew my mind. And the funny thing was that was when I was now like, I think I am starting to really like fall for this guy, and it's not a lover arrangement anymore. It's now like I'm starting to love this guy. The guy can't serve me hot breakfast. Beans, tomatoes, spaghetti, everything was inside the breakfast. But anyway, what he did then was no, what he did then was he took me for my birthday to one of the biggest craft shops and blew roughly about 150 pounds on me there.
And the money
like,
is actually not.
I was just pointing. I want this. I want this. Take it. Eh?
It is not how much you spent that actually is the important thing.
It's not even how much he spent. It was the fact that he took me to the biggest craft shop. He knew which one it was. Took me there and allowed me to just go buck wild crazy. You know, like just buying the thing.
He might not even have known. He might have gone to find it because he knows that you will actually be excited.
So that was the thing that made my heart go, oh, and I breakfast just landed in my presence.
So I have a question for Candy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I had a question for you. So when you do your crafts, is he always around in the room?
A lot of the time, yeah, he's here.
Okay. But you realize how much of quality time that is, right? And you realize that for him to boast about that thing means he's actually very interested. He just doesn't, he's not in the process, but he likes spending that time. And then he's able to tell people, quality time. That's what I point out. So for him, it's quality time.
It actually works. It works for him because now he gets to the tool. Because now he knows that he gets quality time out of it. So come on, I'm coming to keep you company while you're building that thing.
I'm just not in it.
It's the same thing. I think it's correct. If you're correct, because actually when my wife comes back from work and she's giving me details of office stuff, I'll be like, okay, yes, I hear you. Then she gets angry, like, everything I'm saying, you're not listening. I said, I'm listening. Okay, what did I say last? I said, It's not what you said. What did I say? I'll be like, but you see, the truth is that when I go out, I brag about her, oh, she's a great accountant, blah, 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 blah. I tell people that.
We want to hear the bragging. We don't want to be telling people that you're bragging. Tell me the bragging in my presence. What kind of braggadocious is that?
But Ron is missing something major. That's quality time that you're messing with. It's important to her.
Yeah, no. I'm just giving an example of that one. You understand? She wants to have that conversation, right? And maybe sometimes I'm engrossed with sometimes, to be honest, it's time clash. Maybe I'm really calculating and doing something.
So let me tell you what you need to do. You actually need to tell her that, you know what, let me just finish this and I'll be all yours. It's really important to make you not take and play.
I'll share it.
Let it not be like we did not tell you. Don't take and play. Tell her
that's what there's no even work. The only thing that works is
tell her give me 15 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever it will take you to put everything down and say, okay, I'm listening.
That one is putting petrol. On fire. The only thing I've seen that works is that I have to shut down. Okay, tell me what you want me to hear. Then I'll listen to her. Then after listening, then she will go. But that time, if I postpone it,
that's because you have tried it before. You did not come back to fulfill that promise. That's why.
Okay, I'm looking at the comments.
I'll just share.
Hold on, let me just quickly answer the person. I'm looking at the comments and it says, if you say there are 5 love languages, please let me know the languages. However, my viewpoint is that there is no clear-cut definition of a love language. So the love languages are words of affirmation. That is just saying nice things, being polite, kind, thoughtful, that kind of stuff. Physical touch. It doesn't have to be sex. It could just be cuddles, just touching someone, holding their hand, that kind of thing. Receiving gifts. We know what that means. You buy gifts, they receive it. Then quality time, that is taking time to be with someone, not having any external distractions, including phones and all that stuff. And then acts of service, doing something for someone without them having to ask you. So yes, those are the love languages. So let me know what your thoughts are on those. Okay, if I
Okay, just give me. I wanted to share a story, and I'm sharing a collection of what can happen with love language and put the stories together. I'll tie the story together. It's also possible that as you know your partner's love language, and you invest in it, and she kind of knows your own, and you put invest in it. At some point, people start to share love languages without knowing. I'll tell you why. My parents, I realized at some point their love language was quality time, and they expressed it in very funny ways. They would come home from work. This thing Ron was saying, they would come home from work and they would sit down there together. You would wonder what they're doing together or how they would sit down there. Two different people. My dad is an extrovert, my mom is an introvert. But I can tell you right now, if you tell me Nigerian time, I'll tell you what my mom is doing. She's watching TVN if she's watching TV. If not, she's reading Bible and she's writing down something that she'll send you in an email tomorrow morning as your morning wake up. Don't worry. I have an idea. My dad, on the other hand, might have been somewhere doing something. But what I was saying was, you now realize how much they start to mirror each other. So much so, for a better part of my life, they will play Scrabble around 4 or 5 in the evening. The interesting thing is they will play against themselves and be keeping score of who won for this year. But if you, as a child, determine that today you want to play with them, they will mend you. Somebody will give up chances for the other one to mend you, just so that they can talk about it when you're not there. How they kill you. Over years, my dad now died. This happened. This is true life story. I came from work, 6 weeks on work, 6 weeks on, 6 weeks off. When I go off, I look like this. I'm tired. I just want to sit down. And there was basketball on the TV. I wanted to watch basketball. And I sat down on the same chair my dad used to sit down. Mind you, my dad just died not so long. And my mom came and sat down and told me about her day. She told me about her day. I was trying to watch basketball. Something in my mind wanted to tell her, Mommy, let me just finish watching this game. I'll talk to you. But for that day, I just kept quiet. I said in my mind, okay, I'll try and shut this woman out and watch this ball. But I started listening to her. And after a while of talking about how her day went, what happened, this one happened, this challenge got saved that from this other one, she said, thank you for listening. Then it dawned on me all those years that why this man that we knew to be a rascal could sit down here was that he used to just listen. He would just listen. Meanwhile, his own way of showing love to her was acts of service, because he would listen, take that information, and she would have a speech to give the next day. And you come out at 2 a.m. and my father is typing speech. He will not type the speech. Now, to show you how this happens, he will type the speech. He will make us type it now. We are the typists now. I'll type the speech grudgingly. But he will type it. He will do the whole format and everything else. Then he will now print 3 copies. 1 copy goes to the people she's giving the speech for. The second copy is the official copy they have. Then there's a 3rd copy that he makes in bold letters just for her to be able to read it. It took a while. It took a while for me to understand that it took a while that quality time she needed was what he provided. And he had the outlet to do anything for her. So over time, it's good we understand, why do we know these languages? Why do we invest in finding out our partners, so that we can start to build something that is quite beautiful. It might pain at the end, but I can't forget that day, because that day she told me thank you for listening, and I realized all my life, stupidly, all I wanted to do was watch basketball games. That game didn't feel important again.
Wow.
That is so beautiful.
That's the secret of when you see those couples that you're wondering. When you see a couple that has been there, looks like they are there forever, they are like soulmates, is because somehow they got, maybe by intuition, they understood each other's love languages and over-delivered. That's why they become soulmates. Simple. Nothing else.
But what I learned
I'm putting it out there. Anybody that cannot listen to me, don't come near me.
Wait. You see this thing, Ifeanyi you said. You see, I get this from older couples, like men in their 70s. When I talk with them, they kind of like tell me that, when they were young, they were crazy and very impatient. They were not listening. But you see, for men, over time, when you grow and you understand that this is the person that is going to be with you for the rest of your life, you see, and this cuts across all types of men. Whether you are the faithful one, whether you are the philandering one, it really doesn't matter. a time comes to a man's head and he realizes that I'm not dying alone. I'm dying with this person. It behooves me to start paying attention to this woman now. Because she's your carer, whether you like it or not, in that old age. And maybe you too might be her carer. So the only way to achieve peace is that, okay, you have no more children, you're no more rascals. The best approach is, okay, let's draw a boundary, let's not cross this boundary, and there will be peace. A part of that boundary might be, when she's talking, listen to her.
Well, so that's Ron, that actually is how some people discovered by accident.
Yes,
the love language of the other person, right? The advantage
before you go on, PK, before you go on.
Yes.
Sorry, before you go on, Timinino Silva says, sorry, I'm trying to. Can you scroll the thing down? There are various definitions of love, and
as what is love language to A?
Language to A could be hate language to B. I don't think that could be. How can someone's love language be hate language?
Let me rephrase what this person is saying. What this person basically saying is that we've been saying that all along. Somebody is quality time, another person is gift. Gift is 0 for me. When you score it, there's actually a quiz you can take that will basically put it will bring up the one that is your most important love language. But when I was responding to Ron, what I was trying to say is that you can either, so we understand now love language earlier because there is a book of somebody who studied it and captured the thoughts and boiled it down to 5, right? So we can from there take it and apply it. Now, Ifeanyi is basically extracting the fact that what he observed corresponds to what we are reading now. But at the end of the day, the ingredient is still the same thing, the same love language, which his parents might have just been lucky to know from the beginning, or they stumbled into it, or there was somebody else who had that wisdom, who spoke about it, but it was never written, captured. Because the only reason why we are seeing is because there was the day I read, the reason why you see me all passionate about love language is because as I was reading through the thing, it was, you know how you'd be like, I always thought of this, or this just makes sense, right? So for some people, it's intuition, while some people actually will study it. But either way, we know it now. So the quality of our lives has the opportunity to be better. It doesn't mean it will be. The opportunity because of that knowledge. Yeah, it doesn't mean it will be now. Depends on.
There is someone here called Yuki. I don't know who Yuki is. I've been trying to contact them. Yuki, are you there? Are you listening?
Yeah, there's a Yuki here.
Hello, Yuki.
Hello, Yuki. Are you there?
Be Yuki, don't vex, go sleep. Okay, while we are waiting for Yuki to get Mr. H, now that you've listened to the different postulations of the different men here, what would you go back again? Well, if you went back into what you had said initially about love language, is there anything you want to tweak, or is there anything that you feel goes in agreement with what you had said earlier? Mr. H. Mr. H. You see why you are my second in position of Romanque, because you have gone. You have stopped listening to me. How dare you?
Yuki sent a message somewhere in the chat saying
they are okay.
They are work.
Oh, they are at work. Okay.
They can only listen in on anything.
Okay, so Candy, let me, because you men have been talking for a while. Candy.
Yes.
So, okay. Now, what would be, because I want to go into the idea of what Timinino Silva is saying, that what is love language to someone could be hate language to another person. What would be, out of the 5 love languages you said, what would be the thing that you would hate most if Mike did any of those two for you from the love languages?
Actually, maybe hate is not the correct word. What's the least, basically? The one that has the least impact.
What's the whole list again? Touch. What? Touch.
Can be quality time is important to all of us
Quality
here.
time.
They are not listening.
Quality time.
No.
You don't love us.
Acts of service, and there's one more. Let me get.
Wumi is going to
I
get
thought there were five
Receiving
of them.
gifts. Receiving gifts.
But that's only 3, and those are 3 that I said.
No, I said words of affirmation, physical touch, receiving gifts, quality time, and acts of service.
Oh, well, words of affirmation, I guess. I mean, I have nothing against it. There's none of them that's bad, really. There's none of them that's bad. But it's the lowest on my. I would say words of affirmation is like the word. At this point, it's the lowest on my.
So basically, if he do something and he forgets to say thank you, it doesn't rub you the wrong way.
Not really.
Okay, good. Then you're correct. Because for the person who words of affirmation is, if you don't greet them, eku nowo. How do you say that in English?
Thanks for spending money.
That's a literal translation.
Yeah. If you don't greet people who words of affirmation are important to pay, eku nowo, or thank you. I really if you don't say those things, to them it's a big deal. Like look at somebody that did something for couldn't even come back.
I still remember a wedding that I bought Ashebi for, and bride did not thank me. I have not forgotten.
Yep. Words of affirmation, that's for the people who you are wanting. How is it a big deal? It is a big deal for them. Thank you. Oh, I really appreciate it too. The people that you call and say, oh, thank you for 2 days ago. Thank you for 3 days ago. Even though they are saying it's okay, it's a lie. They're enjoying it. Keep saying it.
Yeah, we're enjoying it, but it's okay. We know when it is fake.
I guess for me, the reason why it's not a big deal because it's never really been much of an issue. I mean, I don't know. It's just something that I've never like I said, with the list that we have, that's the least of my on my list, and it's not going to bother me if. Let
me give you another example, Candy. That means that if you exchange words with somebody, it basically you forget about it very quickly, and it's like, all right, let's talk about something else.
Oh,
is that
yeah,
correct?
yeah.
There you go. You see?
Yeah, because even me and Mike, that's how we fight, and then it's done.
I will remember that in 1845 at 3 p.m. you looked at me and told me I was.
Candy, wait. Stop the show first. Did I hear you say you fight? Mike?
We fight.
I will remember.
And in fact, when you see us fight, I mean, we're like cursing each other out. But it's usually just at that moment, and then it's done. Someone will make the other one laugh, and then it's over.
That's it.
Andy, you still lose 5 points. It doesn't matter.
But do you know the crazy thing, Kayode? Do you know the crazy thing?
But you guys, I'm going to get out and come back in because I want to switch to my phone.
No problem. Okay. Do you know the funny thing, Kayode? There was when I first moved to this country, I lived with 3 English lads, and one day I knew an argument was about to break out, and just because I did not want to be in that argument, I did not want to have anybody saying anything that was going to upset me. Actually left home for a week.
Yeah.
They were not looking for me because they didn't know where I was.
Yeah.
They were like, did something happen to her? I left home. I was like, I don't want to be in an argument. I don't want, and that's me. I will literally run from an argument. But if you corner me,
it's because you analyze every word.
Corner me, my mouth is not good.
Why?
Remember that I grew up with an Egba grandmother. Egba people can curse you out. Then I lived part of my life in Ibadan. Then finished the rest in Ogun State. I will first abuse myself so that there's nothing you want to abuse me that's going to pay me. Then I'll not start on you.
But you still understand why?
Because they're the things that hurt me the most.
Exactly, because words actually.
So that's why we use them to hurt someone.
So you, when you are going to war, when you want to destroy somebody fully, you take what you think is everybody's love.
The ultimate missile, yes.
Use it against them. It's the reason why the person who touches their love language, when they really want to basically show you that they refuse touch.
Yeah.
Right? That's people, when people want to hurt people, they actually come from their love language also and
Come from the things that will hurt them the most.
Yeah,
So
that's why
basically,
someone say, I'm
and
not
this is the other thing I found out. I think that a lot of writers, their love languages is words.
Words, yeah, because that's what this is why.
Because that is what they use. That's what they're used to.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm silly. Do you know? And when I was in Osu, when I was in university, I was one who wrote. Please, all the girls in who went to Osu within the years 1995 and 1998, 87. Please forgive me if poem was what made you open your leg. Go. It was most likely mine. It was most likely my poetry. I apologize. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Because I became well known for writing the kind of poetry that opened the gates of paradise. So I made steady money. I'm telling you, I made money.
That's for the other. That's only for the girls who words of affirmation is their thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
because
so that's what I'm saying. For the girls that words of affirmation worked on.
Sound like Candy. When they finish reading the poem, say, okay. So what am I supposed to do with that now?
So any girl who went to Osu between 1995 and 1997, and words of affirmation are your love language, I am sorry. Please forgive me.
Well,
most of the poetry that came out there at that time was mine.
Okay, also, paying you to write
but
they paid me. The guys will come around to me and pay me, and I'll write poems for them, and they'll take it to the girls.
That's a nice side hustle there.
Oh, I made serious
could also be
money.
Correct in terms of what she's saying, that maybe most of the girls. Another advantage of knowing these love languages early, especially for younger people, is you can it saves you from following the crowd to some extent. Part of the reasons poetry might not have been the person's love language, but the people are young and impressionable. So you could just react and say, okay, what do I do when a guy writes this kind of lovely poem for me? Man, I open leg. It might not be what I want.
You just like wouldn't last. Because the guy will bring poem another time. Say, whoa. So you know say another time the guy will bring poem the second time. He said, now that one will go chop. We do poem last time. You don't carry us go chop after anything. A gift.
Forget my poetry was banging.
Please help me interpret this Yoruba. Oshakbawa.
You came with empty hands.
You came with empty hand again with poem. Now poem we go chop.
The other thing I wanted to say, even as we move forward, is also that in as much as we've learned, and for everybody watching too, in as much as we've also learned this love language, we should also be mindful that we are probably going to be parents and have kids that are watching it. Yeah. So it is important that you just don't learn it, but that you actually, when you express it, you also express it because they can know. If not,
I want to give you an example because once I learned this, I actually went to my boys and made them take that test, so I know what theirs is. Because of that, this one where they here now, they live like prince for my house. Now me go come say, go chop because now acts of service being language. The reality is that these are things I wouldn't have done based on my military background, right? But because because I now understand, like the other one that time, I basically once they did that test, I kept it, so I still have it to pull up to look at what's the top one, and based off of that is how I now relate to them.
It's important, and for me, it's more important for, I'll say this, for female children, because so that boys no go come deceive.
And it really improves your relationship.
Yeah, boys they lie plenty. I follow the boys when they lie that year, so I sabi cook the team. And being a jam, you can put, if you want me to pretend for 10 years, I'll give you 10 years straight of pretend. You don't even find anything. But it's important that as long as you know yourself.
No, for as long as you put the right fuel in the car, it must run. It's not it's not optional.
Get something for manual where they write, say, if you the ideal, I don't know if you've seen this before, but they tell you the ideal. I'll just say how they write it over. They say the ideal fuel for this particular aircraft is 100 LL. But if you cannot find, they tell you, but if you cannot find 100 LL, use this other fuel. See, now us be those boys ready this other
that
fuel.
na second class. But when they read the original fuel, you now go. If you put the original fuel in anybody, which is anybody with their love language, you cannot resist your own love language. That's the thing. Even if you wanted to.
Okay, now I want to ask a controversial question.
I had a question, Abby. I wanted to ask something, which is something, it's just a postulation. It's not proven, it's not anything else. I wanted to ask this thing is, because I'm talking with the idea of what children see and what they become. I am looking at my own love language and realizing that without knowing it, it just might be quality time. It used to get, and why I said this is because my elder brother actually used to get crazy. That he will call me, I'm on the phone, Nana is on FaceTime, and he's there, or he will walk into the room and Nana is on FaceTime, and we haven't said a word, but we are there. In fact, as we talk, the reason why Madam opened the door was just to check, say, are they okay, Abby? She'll now go back and sit down. As long as I'm there, she's not going to say a word for the next 1 hour or 2 hours. She'll shout at everybody on the phone, but as long as I did the same space, we do okay. And I'm realizing that's why I asked the question. My question now is, how does it affect your own child's love language?
No, everybody has their own. You just need to find them out and then give them theirs, not yours.
Okay.
Not yours. It's never yours. Okay. Me, I thought that because me, I'm a hugger. I can't begin hug my boys. None of them touches their love language. This one wait there here now. Once I enter kitchen, big this thing, say him go chop. In fact, this guy, when I go McDonald's, go buy breakfast. Once I ask him, okay, what do you want? Which one? He don't pick the one where he want. From that moment onwards, him the day extra friendly. For that day. From once I ask him, what do you want? I want quickly go buy something, come. He talking home. Once I buy him, come. He chop him. He extra friendly. Another time he smile pass. He go enter. If he enter bathroom, go clean him himself without anybody asking. You cannot resist.
I have a question. I think it's a twofold question. Okay, so when now talking about love languages, and we talk about love tanks. When your love language is being poured into your tank, then your love tank is full. Now, at any point in time, can your love tank be so full that you're like, you know what? Nah, this is becoming too much.
No. Nobody they complain of overflow. You could just
so that's one. Then number two, when someone has a love language and with them and their partner. Now you will find some spouses who they'll be like, my wife, I love my wife, and the wife too, or the husband or the woman, my wife will say, my husband is my king and everything, and they're happy, and the partner that they're talking about is happy. The love language is their love tank is full, they are drunk in love, everything, and yet you find this same person who is saying, no, I love my partner, I love my husband, I love my wife, still meeting somebody else outside who is offering the same kind of love language that appeals to them and saying they excite me. So that's why I'm spending time with them. How do you explain that? Because of course, not the only one person if he give you your love language. Once your love, like now that you've said my own love language, I'm sure that when I walk down the street of Boti, someone will be like, Abby, you're looking nice today, because they don't know. You understand? So love language can be filled by anybody who knows it.
Yes.
So where
does you answered the question?
Okay.
But you see, the person that basically went to chop eba outside. Let me ask you a question. Did he get that eba, the exact eba, in the house? He chop and finish, come go chop extra outside. Is that even a possibility?
No, what I'm saying is, because I've come across couples who will be like, I love my husband.
No, understand. There's a difference.
Wait. Let me explain. And wait now, they go talk
Okay.
say, I love my husband. And when you see the two of them, love go they hungry you. Because the
Yes.
man is happy. The man too will be like, this is my wife and I married the right person. This one. But you know, say there be another man outside where they be the woman.
But what of
and
PDA?
she said she they talk, say my husband. Don't you not ask her, why are you allowing this man to be you since you already have a husband at home that you said is meeting on your he's exciting. That's the only reason. It's exciting.
No, you missed something in there. When you see, what should they talk? It does not match what she's feeling on the inside. There's a need that is not met. Is the only reason why somebody else is offering it and it's appealing.
I wanted to answer in another technical way. Why do you think the side chick industry is booming? Simple. They know, they just like somebody can tickle Abby's brain by telling her what she wants to hear. There are girls who have learned. Do
you see how derogatory he said that? Someone can tickle Abby's brain. Like, I'm
just giving people pointers so that when they see you.
I thought it was a side chick that you were going to call derogatory.
I'm giving her pointers. So you can imagine that, like, these people already. Let me even tell you the service they provide. Massaging of the guy's ego. That's the service they provide. They know how to. Your great.
So it's got nothing to do with his love languages. It's just his ego.
No. I know it's actually actually it's basically you are talking of when again. Me, I've always said that the way you have been working your craft, okay, is the same way the side chick has been working her craft. You must respect her for her professionalism and her ability to study a man to be able to extract what she wants from him, right? Those people, if you will only sit them down. I'm talking of the real side chicks that they will point to somebody, they will go and extract stuff from the guy. I'm talking of that level of professionalism. They know, they understand psychology almost intuitively, or they've learned from the streets, right? I'm talking of people that will enter an office and they say, who is your guy? And the next thing, your guy is dating them.
This is the thing I want to get clarity on.
Hold on, please. Always hold
on. So I just want to clarify something. Hold on.
Yes, yeah.
No, I just want to clarify something. So it's not based on the Oga's love language. It's just ego.
No. When if you look at them, if you study them well, they understand whether they've read the book or not. They understand love languages. They understand things like quality time.
But
they understand.
Ron is saying it is ego.
They understand. They understand things like acts of service. That ego that Ron is talking about, a professional has seen that this Baba, he likes let them be calling him mighty in battle, right? As soon as the man is coming in, the noodle 2-minute man, she's like mighty in battle. Oh, no worry me, right? You know the thing where you do me yesterday, I no sleep well. The man is like, oh my goodness,
I can't walk well.
Yes, exactly. Everything she does is an act based on the man's love language.
And Oga, also they are experts at spotting what is missing.
That's what I'm saying.
Providing exactly what is missing.
Yes.
To extract what they need.
Yes.
It is not even your marriage, because
you cannot.
Your wife.
They don't want to get married to the man. They're not interested in marriage.
They don't. That's why when you think about people that talk about that 80-20 rule and the rest of it, you might be providing the 80%, but the thing is that the side chick knows what the 20% is, and just provide that 20% in a bid to get what she wants. Don't get it wrong; it's transactional for her. So she's not ready to. She just provides. That's why they will tell you that. There's this very interesting thing there. In fact, there they were talking about people from forgive me, but these are my people from Port Harcourt, and they tell you that the Port Harcourt is the person that will come to you and tell you that she'll ask you don't send madam money. You should say madam they don't chop. Your child they school they okay. Then she'll now proceed to provide the service you want her to provide. and still collect the money and go home.
Please tell me if you see basically.
I didn't hear anything you said, Ifeanyi.
No,
Okay,
I was
let
saying
me-
like they
Let me
are
help you. Let me
experts at.
repeat it.
No, you said that there are people from your area that
I'm
they'll
just
say
saying
the
Port
women.
Harcourt that the women, there are women that they can tell you, Abby, are you there? I think she's hanging.
Okay, now Abby is frozen actually. But Abby, what he's saying is that there are a level of professionalism.
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Family before they provide the service so that you will pay well. It's the same thing that happens in a
Like
restaurant.
they've spotted why what is the gap, and they become expert. Like you said, they've been street smart and taught to exploit that gap just enough to get what they want. And they also understand now. When you were talking about professionals, there are people that have gone further to know that as long as I provide the 20% you are missing and keep it constant, you will always pay me. So they are not in the mood to come and fight madam. They don't need to fight madam. They don't want that.
No, for sure, right? That if they choose to marry the man, usually they will win.
Yeah, of course.
It is not a profitable thing for their business for them to now come and become the man's wife. It's the only reason that they release the man into the wild so that they can collect cash from multiple sources.
But a man who actually leave a woman, he's getting 80% of his needs to go and meet 20% of his wants.
She's not giving him 20%, she's giving him 20 plus the remaining 80.
Yes. The other thing that is making it attractive that you said the man will actually leave is that the man doesn't realize, when in stages of life, there are stages you'll be to, you don't realize that waiting they hungry you, no be waiting you really need, Abby. So imagine say person, note that this side chick is giving you that 20%, 100%. You get? He's not giving you overtime. She's making sure that each time you enter, he'll call you mighty man in battle. Every day, mighty man in battle. Your wife is giving you 80% because she's stretching herself, plus children, plus all these other things. But once you just get into side chick, mighty man in battle,
she knows that words of affirmation are your thing. You be like, you nearly broke my back yesterday.
Yes. You become addicted. Then why the man will leave? You think why it's probably will leave, but why he will really leave is that he will now think that 20% is getting 100% of the time. That what if I can get it every time?
Yeah.
Then he makes the mistake and does the switch. Yeah. Wait, now he does the switch and now realizes that, oh my God, this was a mistake.
They're not the same.
But it's how it is. You just start getting it. It's like 100% of the time. Everything is like gambling. You get addicted. Sorry, what I wanted to mention was somebody in the chat. Yuki said something, which is, I've been waiting for this to come on since you guys started talking. She said, I don't think love exists anymore these days between couples. So I want you guys to respond to it. I'm not going to
love.
I agree. I don't think there's anything like love.
Love has always been a transaction.
I wholeheartedly disagree.
Love has always been a transaction. If you come with the right currency, you will get value for your currency. Period. Go and try it anywhere.
No, Candy, I think people like you were smart. You married the good men when they were available. We were still like trying to be all smart.
Did she not just tell you? Did she not just tell you that? Did she not just tell you the currencies they are spending in their relations? What do you mean by she married?
I wanted to add something for context, Abby.
Why did Bonnie find Clyde?
No, okay, let me explain something to Abby. Let's put it into context so that it makes sense for all of us. You remember that case of that guy that died last year? I hate using him as an example, but the one that was killed by the side chick, allegedly killed.
You don't start something. Make a trigger all the women now. Go
on. No. You remember? While we were still mourning the guy that he was killed by one fine Unilag girl, guess what happened? People went to go and dig the photo of his wife and brought her. And to be honest with you, the wife is tall, beautiful, whatever it is you want to attribute to her. They said, oh, and he has a very beautiful wife. Why did he go outside? And I think I was the only person looking at anyone. Are you people for real? You think if everything was 100%, just like we're counting it in percentage, he would have stepped out? Do you know how they live? Do you know the condition of their marriage? Do you know their friendliness? Do you know anything? You only see a pretty face and you just conclude that because the wife is pretty and the man is good looking, then two of them are jelly well. No, it doesn't work that way. It might be that side chick was the one fulfilling the extra 30% plus the 70% the wife was providing. Or it might just be an issue of respect. Or it might be an issue of appreciation. Maybe it's underappreciated at home, no matter what he does. Then this other one is the one saying, mighty man of battle, hey, everything you do, you know, it's life. That's the way it is. People always want to get what they feel.
You know what? It's unfortunate that side chicks do not actually write books and have seminars. Otherwise, honestly speaking, it would be an industry that is making a lot of money and hiring people. Because honestly speaking, they understand. It's just that they use it for for their own immediate benefit. But it can solve a whole lot of scenarios that
matrimonial stress. Yes,
but,
you're right.
Okay, if the man is going outside. Okay, yes, Candy, you go on.
It's not just it's not just a man. It also works the other way.
I'm just saying. Just wanted to ask, like, based on it finds whatever that there's no love between couples anymore.
No, somebody said that. Is what somebody said.
Someone asked the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, when you say there's no love between couples anymore, what does that mean? Like, I'm.
Well, that was just the comment the person left in the chat. Said, I don't think love exists anymore these days.
Or love exists, yeah.
Then also said, and then continue to say, I mean, love does not exist these days between couples. Is a comment in the chat that Ifeanyi was reading out.
I don't really think that.
But I don't really she agrees. So.
Yes, okay, I agree. And let me explain what I agree. I agree that right now. And then
she exempted you, Candy. She said you're the only one on earth that basically.
No, I didn't say just guy. Candy. No,
which means the rest of us are useless men.
No, wait. What I'm saying is that people like Candy, people, like years ago. I'm talking like, let's say 4 years ago. Anyone who was married from 4 years ago, I think you still managed to snag some cream of the crop. But you see, the men where they now, plus the women where they now. Wait, the men and the women where they now, all of us together, we know Badun. All of us, so we know where.
There's new material that's been ordered to the warehouse.
I actually think that. I don't know. I think it was Jordan Patterson that mentioned this thing, but it's the truth. I think part of what has happened to us over the years is that our idea or concept of love has been channeled to one way. So, like I always use the Disney picture of Beauty and the Beast. Our idea of love and romance is when everything is free. They're going on date nights. They're going on this thing. But the problem with all those movies is we never really see the other parts of love that we should also consider. Like Ogaka said, the economic side of it, the transactional side of it. The fact that even in all those movies, who used to pay for all the dates that they went to? How did they pay for the apartment? How did they pay for the houses? When they fight and close door, what happened to the money? Where does the money go to? Where does the children go to? Where does the fact that children are noisy go to? Where does the fact that children can be everywhere go to, and you still have to still be in love? So because we didn't have that whole picture, we took only the picture of the romance, or the in my language it's called the lenyoko. What it means is that the guy will come in the evening and come and whisper sweet nothings to you, the flower hedge whispers. We took it and we said it has to be, that is the forever and ever. If you have somebody that gives you flower hedge whispers every night, you talk something, your body will sweet you. That's all we took. And we made that into the whole thing. That's why when you see people talk about the movies around now. So when you see people talk about that they're in love or something, and you ask them, what does being in love mean? They only tell you about how he makes me feel, how we go out on these things, how we do this one. But we didn't take the whole picture. And because we magnified that, that's why when I hear somebody say that love doesn't exist between couples. And I'm wondering, the first question you ask is, like Candy said, what does that even mean? What does love finally mean to you?
I actually bought a group of books that was talking about all the Disney stories but what happened after the end of Disney. And it was very interesting, the amount of foul language, cursing, slapping, throwing of books and throwing of doors and all that stuff that went on. But it was actually a group of authors who came together and looked at every single Disney story and tried to bring it into the 21st century and said what happened after and they lived happily ever after.
Even if you leave it
like
in
the real princesses that married the real princes.
Yes, but even if you leave it in those settings and you leave it in those culture that they were, princesses that married princes, and then you expect that those princesses married princes and they live happily ever after. In those kingdoms, people married multiple wives as part of alliances. Did they tell us about those alliances? Did they tell us? Yes, there was going to be polygamy. Did they tell you that the princess dealt with? Did they tell you about not having a heir to the throne? So those are just. The question is, we've taken that picture and we put it. The one that kills us the most, and each time I hear this thing about no love between couples, is for some weird reason we have taken, and for the men it's different, and for the women it's different. We have taken sexual trust to mean the entire trust of the relationship.
Exactly. And
so all of a sudden, you're looking at a guy that he stepped out. It's wrong to step out. Yes, hold him to that standard. You shouldn't step out. But then when he steps out and he tells you, I'm still in love with you, because yes, stepping out is very important to you. You've also carried it in your head and you're killing him. And all of a sudden, we just have this whole dysfunction. And when you ask somebody, what does it mean to be a faithful relationship? It tells you only the sexual part. Meanwhile, there are people that are sexually trustworthy, but on the other part, they play everything else. They hide their money, they hide their friends, they hide their life.
They are financially irresponsible.
Yes, exactly. But you see, that's the case, because for someone like me, if someone said, what do you consider infidelity? For me, the moment you even start to talk to somebody else and it has turned sexual, it is infidelity already. No, that's for me.
I'm saying let's leave the sexual part. Let's even face, like Ron said, some people are just financially irresponsible. That should even be a more bigger problem to me than even before you start to get to where you don't get to. So there are other things that people do that are just wrong, that we should look at all of them in totality.
Yeah. No, but it's so funny because I think we've talked about this before. Because I remember I used to say before I got married,
something's echoing.
Something's echoing.
It just might be Bumi's zone is echoing. If you can mute her. Yes, I think your phone is resting on a surface that is reverberating.
You think? But I'm playing it through my
That's exactly
as soon as he lifted it, it was clear.
Oh, really?
It's still echoing.
No, or mute your mic so that I can just listen.
You can.
Okay. Candy, continue.
Candy, you're muted.
Candy, you're muted.
Sorry. Before I got married, I always used to say infidelity was my deal breaker. But now I realize that if, for example, if Mike steps out and it's like it's not. I mean, I might be upset or whatever, and it might be hard to
Candy, so it's not a deal breaker anymore. Ma, you explain it.
That's what I'm saying.
You know that, right?
No. Actually, I totally understand where she's coming from, honestly speaking. Because at a point in time, you now realize that that's not the bigger problem at a point in time. And that's an individual thing. I think also it's actually a certain stage. I don't know that was ever a problem for me when I was in one that the person stepped out. So because of that, no, I in my mind, that was a forgivable thing, or rather, it was something we could get past. In my mind,
the thing about stepping out is that's just a symptom. Stepping out was just the one you caught finally. The real problem is that the guy has always been irresponsible. So why you deal with the fact that he just didn't see that marriage?
Or the other way around too.
No, I'm coming to that one because there's a certain statistic that feels that it's more men that step out than women. Interestingly, statistically, I'll go and look for it. I'll look for it. The ratio is either 40, this 50 to 48, then there's a 2% that swings both ways. So in other words, it's almost
No,
even.
there are actually more women who cheat than
even.
men, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
Okay, and it's still the same thing.
It's almost like a thing, you know.
All right,
Anyway,
they
so
they catch them. We know they look for them.
I think one of the
the real thing is that when say if we look at creation, if women were made
Wait,
after
guys,
men,
hold on. Bumi, you were saying something. Guys, hold on.
Alright, let me mute
Bumi, you were
myself.
saying something.
Thanks, Abby.
let me mute myself.
I think one of the biggest distinctions between men and women cheating is that men can cheat when there's nothing wrong, but women rarely cheat if everything is fine.
And men always cause something to be wrong anyway.
I didn't say that, but women rarely cheat when things are right. Of course, there are exceptions. Some women are crazy. Some people are crazy, men or women. But generally speaking, women don't step out unless you've given them a reason to. Whereas a man, he can step out. He's happy at home. He wants the man to continue. He just slipped up or whatever. Felt like he could get away with it.
So technically, we can say that. Hold on, guys. So technically, we can say that more men have made things unhappy for women. For women to now step out, so that there are more women cheating than men. For women to now step out, so that there are more women cheating than men.
That's possible. I mean, like, look at it in Nigeria. It's not just how the man cheats the wife.
Umi's thing is rebroadcasting. Umi's thing is rebroadcasting.
If you can raise it from the surface is on and just put it maybe on your lap or something, it will be better. It's bouncing off the dashboard.
Yes, I think she's using the. You're using your speakers, right? Your speakers to listen, correct, Bumi? And now,
she has muted herself.
Now it's not bouncing back because you muted your mic. So it's your speakers are basically now echoing it back into the mic, but your mic is.
You're still muted, though, Mr. H. I called you before.
Yeah.
This another person who's Kitty always goes.
Okay, this is weird though because it should just be getting it from my car speaker, but I'll mute myself till I get one.
No, Bumi, you are not okay. It's Mr. H that is the reverber.
I thought as much. There should really be nothing wrong with my setup, but you never know.
No, there was something wrong with your setup before.
Oh, really?
It's back again.
Yes.
Is it
Yes.
better now?
Back again.
Yes, it's better now.
Yes.
Yes, it's better now. So you were saying?
Yeah, I was saying that I've always said that I think fidelity is a bigger sacrifice for men than women. It's harder for them to be faithful for 30 years than for us. But I do agree that both sexes cheat. I think men cheat more, but I don't have them. Yeah, definitely men cheat more. Abby, I don't know where you got your number.
No,
from,
there was a study done, a research, and it came out that women cheat
I
more.
don't know who did that research, but I like empirical evidence. And when that
No, it was Durex.
I'll find the study and I'll put it up. But what they also said is the reason why you feel that way that men cheat more is because women are more discreet, so you can't find it. You really can't.
No, it's not that. I mean, I agree women are more discreet. I agree with that.
You realize that a woman can go on a spring break.
You don't know the true number of women that.
And not say anything about it.
But I came to this conclusion from a biological perspective. Men just have more urgent need for sex and a more frequent need for sex and a heightened desire. Women have it too, but we don't have it consistently all the time.
It happens. In fact, another thing that came out to prove that women cheat more. was when they started saying that women had to do this DNA tests, and women
No,
were
that one doesn't count.
running katakata.
It doesn't count. No, that reproduction doesn't count.
No, that
Reproduction doesn't
added
count.
to the research. I'm saying what
Yeah,
added to the
because
research.
a woman could do that to preserve the marriage. That is not necessarily pleasure. She could, maybe the man has a low sperm count. She knows. You know, I don't want to say, after the party, remind me of what I wanted to say. I don't want to say that. Remind me.
Okay, I will try and remember what's inside your mind. Okay.
Now,
So
just
anyway,
say it.
so Bumi, can we? Oh, you are muted again, Bumi. I don't know what's happened.
Because of the echo.
A lot of I wanted to piggyback off of what Ron just said. A lot of the children that are not their fathers are usually the first children, which shows you that it's about society and culture as well. Women get pregnant, either they can't marry the guy or the guy won't marry them, so they'll just go and find the first guy who will, who's willing to marry them and pawn that child on the guy. I think if women in places like Nigeria, we're poorer, right? Women in Nigeria are poorer than women in the West. I think that you find that if we were wealthier, there would be less of those, because a lot of it is money. And also, if we were not as conservative for culture, there'll be less of those too, because people won't feel so ashamed to be single parents.
Okay. So what we've been asking everybody. What's your love language? Bumi?
You're not asking me, right?
They're asking you now.
Weirdly, gift giving is important to me, which makes me sound like a gold digger, but I can't help it. I like pretty things. It doesn't have to be expensive though. It's just thoughtfulness and new things. I'm easily distracted. Like one of the best gifts someone gave me was like 5 blow pops. He put it in like a bouquet, because I love blow pops when I'm working. Those lollipops that have chewing gum in the middle.
Oh, I used to love those things.
So I arranged them like in a bouquet. This shit was like all of $5. I still remember it till today, and I'm a woman who's been given diamonds and all sorts of shit. So I'm not that materialistic. Like, money and buying me things is not my first priority, but I like if you surprise me with something I like, I'm gonna feel like, yeah, you care about me. That's one love language. The other one is touch. I enjoy
okay.
Physical displays of attraction. You're hugging me all the time, you touch me, you play me, you smack my ass, all this kind of stuff. Makes me feel like you love me. So I think those are my 2 love languages.
Why did you have to ask Bumi the question? Why did you have to ask Bumi the question?
Seriously.
Because I asked everybody else. Okay, Ron, can you read the last 2 comments and then we'll say goodbye?
Okay, on part security, what is Francis saying? Next. The last one is, I don't know other periods or challenges in marriage, because I'm not. Yeah, be honest.
So, Bumi and Mr. H, can you mute yourselves? Yeah, echoing. One of you is echoing.
I'm muted. Then the last one is, I don't know other parents and challenges in marriage, but one thing I will never forgive is infidelity. Especially if I'm faultless, I might be able to forgive it if I contributed to it. That's exactly what we're saying.
Okay.
Exactly
so I think we've battered the topic to a good point. So just want to say a massive thank you to everyone. Ron, I can't see my screen. My screen has actually gone completely blank. So can you please read out the names of everyone in the comment section so we can say thank you to them?
Okay, so in the comment section we've got Cheryl Torres.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Yogini Mystery. Okay.
Thank you.
Bumi Adeyonju.
Thank you.
And Result Concepts Media. We've got
Thank you.
Felix Peters. We've got
Thank you.
High Speed Group. Bros, High Speed, if you're watching, I'll shout out later. And
thank you.
Who else is new? Chicks, Stevia Uchi. Thank you,
Thank
sir,
you.
for watching. Really appreciate it. Then Happy Fast. I actually
Thank
promised Happy that she said she was tired. I said she should come out.
Okay.
Then there's Nora. Nora is
Thank
here.
you. Yes, I know that's my big sister, Sister Nora. Yes. Thank you, sis.
Oh, okay. Then there's Auntie Timinu Silva.
Thank you.
And there's Francis.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's about it.
Well, thank you, every single person that's put in a comment. Thank you to every one of the panel, to Ron, of course, DJ Wiki, to PK Kayode, who is Judas the Carrot, Ifeanyi, to Candy Brown, to Agontene, who came on the show, to Mr. H, ever gentle darling Mr. H. I'm trying, who else has come on? Yuki, even though you couldn't join us. I'm trying to see who else is there, because my screen is completely blank. But to every single person who's joined us either on the panel or joined us through the comments or just watching us, thank you so much, because you're the ones that we do this show for. Until we do this again, same time, same place, please take care and God bless. So Ron, if you can just shut down the show from your end. I can't do anything from here. Thank you.
All right.